Have a 2-0 lead over the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. And tonight, the Celtics try to battle back against the Heat. Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals you can hear on ESPN 1250 starting at 7.
Mike Jimenez.
The San Antonio Spurs are the world champions.
Tim Spence.
Victory! Cowboys win!
It's showtime. It's Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We're on the go at ESPNSA.com. My name's Mike Jimenez, joined by Tim Spence. What's going on, Spence?
Who is it is Mike Jimenez. It sounds like it might be something different. Someone with cojones.
Yeah, I have that very white voice, little sexy. Keeping that sexy for Friday.
Hey, tell me about it. I mean, it's almost like you can sing some R&B and get away with it, man.
I'm hoping to. But again, I'm battling through. I don't have sick days here at Alpha Media.
Allergies again?
It's a combination of allergies,
sure,
a cold, the flu, COVID maybe. I don't know. It's a little bit of everything. Welcome to 2023.
Okay. Let me just tell you. If I get sick, I have been known to throw things. Okay.
I will get you 2 more lunches on top of the one that I still owe you.
If I get sick.
Yes. Promise.
Not Whataburger.
Yeah, no, I'll have to do something a little bit better. See, the tea is coming in. The honey is kicking in. I'm over here sipping on apple cider vinegar right now because that's what Joe Reinagel has told me to do. And I feel fine. This morning, I felt like a truck hit me. But right now, I feel perfectly fine. And I was talking to my wife on the phone about 5 minutes ago. And she's like, well, what have you taken? She didn't even know that I came in. I said, well, I've taken the Sudafed and Claritin D. And she's like, no, you're supposed to take one or the other, not both. And I said, babe, I have double the decongestant. Okay. She goes, that's not how it works. You could over-medicate yourself. But I'm over here with apple cider vinegar. I've got several packets of honey, thanks to the ladies over at Starbucks, who I was like, I need some more honey, please. They gave me all these packets. I've got a bunch of hot tea. Just had some hot oatmeal right now. My voice is getting better hour by hour by hour. So I'm assuming that by about 1 o'clock, it'll be perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
That's a big assumption considering what I'm hearing right now. And by the way, I did tell you to stay home.
You did. Okay.
Okay.
But again, I don't have vacation time over here at Alpha Media. So it's the hot takes that pay the mortgage, Spence. That's what it is, baby. That is what it is. Pledger's making fun of me because he was saying, do not call it the Willis Reed game. You were telling me that too. It's funny how both of you came with the same comment. I said this is more of the MJ flu game. Coming out here and doing what I do. The Paul Pierce game.
Stop lying. You immediately turned to me and went, this is going to be my Willis Reed game. Who was that guy for the Knicks that came back and was hurt?
That's right.
I said Willis Reed, and you said it's going to be my Willis Reed game.
That's it. I knew who it was. Sometimes I ask you questions, Pledge, just so that I can get confirmation without having to go to Wikipedia. I mean, I was 99% sure.
And I think we see Willis coming out. There he comes right now. 6'10" from Grambling. The captain of the Knicks, the most valuable player of the NBA.
Here comes Michael Jimenez, 5'7" from UTSA in Texas State. Coming from San Antonio to do Jimenez and Spence.
MVP.
Texas Association Broadcaster Award winner, Michael Jimenez.
I thought that got updated last night.
Yeah, what was that all about? Please.
You didn't hear him say yesterday what he's going to do?
I did, but I didn't think he'd actually do it and then post it on Twitter.
I didn't post it on Twitter. I just sent it to you.
Oh, that was me.
You posted it on Twitter.
That's right, because I was outraged.
Because you live your life on social media, whereas I was just sharing a joke with you between the two of us.
You don't even remember. By the way, have you seen Twitter? Have you seen Twitter?
No, what's going on?
You should see it. Go check it out. There's a new post up there.
What is it? More of Michael Jimenez doing a backhands while he's sick?
No. There's a couple tweets up there talking about it's taken me 30 years in this business, but I finally have seen it. So Mike Jimenez gargling before the start of the show.
You didn't do that. Oh my God. That is nice, dude. Tummy and all. My goodness.
I thought you didn't get embarrassed.
No,
I don't get embarrassed, but you go tummy and all.
I
You
don't
got
get
the
embarrassed.
LSU Tigers dad on. You know,
I
first
don't
time you
get
changed
embarrassed.
you changed your Wemby shirt for the first time.
I don't get embarrassed, but that was funny because about 30 seconds before going on air, I am gargling apple cider vinegar. Joe Reinagle says that is the cure if you have laryngitis or a hoarse voice. It tastes nasty. It is gross. So I'm doing it, without being diluted. And then I have some over here that's diluted. And then I have a spit cup, like I'm chewing dip. I'm going to make my way through the show. If I can't do it, if by 1:00 it's not there, it's not working, I'll call for the righty, right? From the bullpen, Pledger can come in. But at least I prove to you that if I ever call in sick, that means I'm super sick.
Well, you did say the other day that my wife wanted me to, should I call in sick for you? Or do you want to call in sick for yourself? Okay. So the truth really is, still out there. But okay, yeah, no, you're a gamer. Here is Friday. Your voice will be back on Monday. You'll be fine. But
I could have made it a 3-day weekend, is what I could have done.
you could have made that.
Now, I told you apple cider vinegar tastes like crap. But do you know what tastes delicious? Being a Spurs fan right now and thinking about what a Victor Wembanyama taco would taste like, what it would be called. So we have that on Twitter at Mike ESPNSA. Spence is at Spence ESPNSA. If you were to create a Victor Wembanyama taco, what would it be called? My suggestion was Wemby Guisada with cheese.
Why is that?
It just goes well. It just speaks to me.
Doesn't have to be 7 inches long, though, representative of the 7 feet wingspan he has.
Oh, those are small tortillas then. You got to get like the Rolando Super Taco type.
Okay.
The one that's the massive, it's like 4 tacos in one.
Well, you should have the biggest taco. I have a world record. Build the biggest taco in honor of Wemby.
Yeah, for those of you listening right now who might own a Mexican restaurant, if you want to create one, let us know. We want to check it out. Again, what would a Wemby taco look like? What would it be called? And what would the ingredients be? Reach out to us. You can also reach out to us on YouTube right now. We're streaming live, talking sports till 3:00. Jason and Joe get going.
Well, some
at 3.
of us will be.
Yeah.
The question is whether you'll be able to team it up all the way through.
Maybe I'll give the hot take and just leave. It'll be like Costanza. Just do the joke and then just walk out the door.
Leave them on a high note. Good night, everybody.
We do have a pair of tickets, actually a 4-pack of tickets that we're giving away to the San Antonio Missions game next Tuesday, taking on the Amarillo Sod Poodles over at the Wolf. It comes with a parking pass. It is also going to be a $2 Tuesday over there. So that usually means $2 hot dogs, $2 beer. And one of the things I want to bring Pledger into this, because I was taking a look at a email that I received from Jeremy Sneed, who is the PR director for the San Antonio Missions, says that June 10th, they're going to host a Marvel's Defenders night over at the Wolf. And it says, in partnership with Major League Baseball, will host the Defenders of the Diamond Night. And apparently there's going to have a Marvel design jersey for the game against the Wichita Wind Surge. Again, this is June 10th. And the jerseys will then be auctioned off following the game to benefit the Down Syndrome Association of South Texas. I will be there. That is a big thing for me because my son has Down syndrome. Anything for the Down Syndrome Association of South Texas. They do a fantastic job, or the Ark, or Morgan's Wonderland. All of these places do a fantastic job for those who have special needs, those who have Downs. And yeah, I can't wait for that. Maybe I got to get my son all dressed up in a Marvel outfit.
I mean, they do this every year.
That's amazing. I that flew over my head. I follow $2 Tuesdays, nothing else. Okay.
I follow Marvel Night.
Really?
Yeah.
They
Marvel Night and Star Wars
They
night.
also have a Take the Dog to the Park night, which I think was recently or it's just coming up. But again, it's always a fun time at the Wolf. We got to take you out there, Spence, to Wolf Stadium.
The season started first part of April. What's been the holdup?
What's the holdup? We had to go play golf first. And dude, are y'all getting together Memorial Day weekend for golf?
Don't look at me. I'm not the coordinator of it.
Rob Thompson sending out the massed email. Asking people. Yeah.
He wants a second round. Unfortunately, Team Pleasure. Captain Team Pleasure is going to be out of town. Oh, it happens to be out of town when there's a rematch being requested.
Well,
but no, that's fine. No, that's fine. Go enjoy your holiday weekend.
The request was, who's the worst golfer, me or Rob, that we had to play each other for 18 holes, like a legitimate thing.
6-hour round.
6-hour round. Who's the favorite?
Just put down in one hole and call it a day.
Who do you think would win? Who do you think would win, Pledger? Me or Rob Thompson? Round of golf.
I don't know.
Who's
I've
the
never
favorite?
seen Rob.
Well, what I saw of Rob looked a lot like me, but I'm a better putter. Better putter.
Don't be, too hard on your guy.
That's my guy. You're my guy,
Spence.
Spence.
Everyone's your guys. Yeah. Yeah, right.
I don't know if you saw this, but I posted on Twitter earlier today video of me playing tennis during COVID. Not
I didn't
COVID,
see it, but I
during
heard about it.
Okay. Pledger, you saw me with my forehand, you saw my backhand. It was just a drill. Okay, it was just drills. It wasn't in the middle of a match or anything like that. Am I a little bit more athletic on the tennis court than you thought, or are you not impressed?
Well, it was out, first of all. If I'm the line judge, that's out.
I play doubles.
Not in a singles match, you're not. Also, I mean, they were being lobbed right too. There wasn't a lot of movement. You can't really judge the athleticism, but your hand-eye coordination was pretty good.
Tell us more. Tell us more how you're throwing down 100-mile-an-hour, triple digits on the return.
Yeah, I think I can. Give me about 2 or 3 practice matches or practice days.
Why is there always a qualifier?
Because I haven't played in a year and a half. That's why.
But you're throwing out 100-mile-an-hour, pitches, and give me 3 matches to warm up. Either you can do it or you can't.
3 practice.
Either you can do it or you can't.
It's like saying I can go hit a home run, but let me go into the batting cage for a couple of sessions.
I can break 90 golf, but let me have it go about 10 rounds to warm up. Okay.
There is a qualifier because I don't want to get hurt. Because are you going to pay the deductible when my arm falls off?
That sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, most definitely. Hey, we're going till 3:00 here on Jimenez and Spence. Kielbasa Smoke Beats phone line, if you want to be part of the conversation, is 656 ESPN. 656-3776. When we come back, thinking about Victor Wembanyama, all the Spurs fans are out there saying he's going to be perfectly fine health-wise because Pop is going to load management the guy. But I have a question for you, Spurs fans, and it's a serious one. Not a hot take. It is a serious question.
Right.
What if the NBA punishes Pop for load managing Victor Wembanyama?
What if the NBA?
Yes.
How would that happen?
Drop the hammer on Pop. I'll tell you why on the other side. Jimenez and Spence, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
It's Michael Jimenez with Jimenez and Spence, weekdays 12 to 3. People ask all the time, how can we become part of the San Antonio Sports Star family? Well, if you have a business, reach out to us for sponsorship opportunities. You can advertise with San Antonio Sports Star with all of our talent here. Reach out to Morgan Harrison at morgan.harrison@alphamediausa.com. After that, she will get you in touch with one of our professional sales reps and get you going. Again, reach out to Morgan Harrison at morgan.harrison@alphamediausa.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks is always adding exciting cocktails to the menu, like the expertly balanced Sincoro Hall of Fame Margarita. Try it at your local lodge today.
Looking for a protein-packed snack to power you through the day? Of course you are. Only Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have the bold flavors you crave. Spicy dill, Korean kimchi, pasilla chili cheese, and more. Take your snacking to a whole new level with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. And keto fans, you're going to love this low-carb crunch. Get yours at H-E-B and online at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
Smoker's Paradise, your premium smoke shop. Fully stocked to shop everything you need for your smoking needs under one roof. Vaporizers, disposable e-cigarettes, hookah accessories, water pipes, cigars, and more. With 14 area locations, including the newest at Southwest Military in Roosevelt. Visit smokersparadise.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hi, Ghostbusting Ernie Hudson here. Thomas J. Henry asked me to say a few words about distracted driving. Next time you're driving, who are you going to text or call? Nobody, I hope. If you care about your life and the lives of others, you will not cross those streams. Using your phone while driving is extremely dangerous. Sadly, thousands of lives are needlessly lost every year. So if you don't want to become a Texas roadway statistic, please put your phone down. Don't talk, don't text, just drive. Thank you.
Grand slam, bomb, went yard, long ball, dinger. Do you even know what I'm talking about, Nigel?
Croquet.
Nigel, I'm talking about baseball. Courtroom plumbing and air conditioning is a lot like a baseball team.
Should we wear cups, Joe?
When a person has plumbing problems or their air conditioner just isn't cooling right, they can rely on our team to make the big plays. We hit out of the park every time. Call Quarter Moon Plumbing and Air Conditioning, day or night, 651-5899.
Joe, should I start singing now? Take me out.
License number N16004, DACLA 000743458.
It can happen in an instant. A car accident can change your life forever, from serious injuries to mounting medical bills to battling insurance companies. Accidents make life harder than it should be. If you've been in an accident, George Salinas Injury Lawyers are here for you. They're local, experienced, and ready to fight for results that make a difference. If you've been injured, don't call just any lawyer. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit georgesalinas.com.
George gets justice. In my job, I never held back. I played hurt and I pushed through the pain. Sound familiar?
Football legend Emmitt Smith had a reputation for just grinding through the injuries and pain over and over. That may be you. And QC Kinetics sees patients every day who are exhausted from dealing with the persistent pain.
A lot of you work physically demanding jobs. You stand, you climb, you bend down, you reach up. And if you have joint pain, it takes all you got to earn a living. But it's time you know about QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the leaders in regenerative treatments, help relieve that debilitating joint pain without surgeries or downtime. These are natural solutions that use your body's own healing properties to give you lasting relief from the soreness and achiness.
You got a job to do. I get it. But now you don't have to suffer through the pain. Check out my friends over at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
This is Rudy J, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Got a deeper voice than Rudy J today. Jimenez and Spence at 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. On the go at ESPNSA.com. We're streaming live on YouTube right now. My name's Mike Jimenez. That is Tim Spence. We're going till 3 o'clock. Spence, load management in the NBA. That's a hot topic these days. Because the NBA has said for future years, if you want to qualify for the MVP award, you want to qualify for Defensive Player of the Year, All-NBA team, Rookie of the Year, any of these awards, you need to play a minimum of 65 games. And the Spurs with Greg Popovich pioneered load management. It was a big thing down the stretch of Tony's career, Timmy's career, and Manu's career. And it got us thinking about Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama is just 19 years old, but he's 7'4", 7'5" in shoes. And I think a lot of Spurs fans right now are under the impression that Greg Popovich is going to load manage him, sit him out of games, limit his minutes, and do what's best for his long-term career.
Stop right there. What's wrong with that?
That's not what the NBA wants.
And how do you know what the NBA wants?
Okay, so you would agree with me that the Spurs will be nationally televised
Correct.
for several games this year.
Correct.
Not only would it be nationally televised, it would be internationally televised.
Correct.
The attention because of the curiosity factor of Victor Wembanyama.
There might even be games in France
Right.
next season for the international flavor of it.
And this got me thinking about it because I remember when Greg Popovich on a nationally televised game against the Miami Heat, LeBron James and the Miami Heat, this was 10 years ago. I remember when he benched all the starters and the NBA was furious. But at the end of the day, the NBA did practically nothing to Greg Popovich. If these games are going to be center stage, games of the week type of thing, and Pop is up to his old tricks, his old antics of load management when it comes to Victor Wembanyama, I think the NBA is going to punish Pop.
There's nothing you can do to punish him, short of the team making some statement. How do you punish someone for benching or resting? That's how they would position it. A player during the season.
Well,
Does it make it enjoyable at all for the viewers? Does it make it right for people paying the ticket price to go see it? Wemby in whatever location? No, it doesn't. But they got to rest. They have to be set for load management based on whatever the coach feels. If the coach decides what he thinks is the best interest of the player, then fine, find some other coach. But the coach is the coach.
if Pop does that in a nationally televised game again and pulls that crap that he did 10 years ago, which he did that as a middle finger to the NBA. I think the NBA
Or to you?
Well, I mean,
As a
to
fan?
basketball fans. I mean,
Okay.
to basketball fans. We wanted to see, what LeBron was going to do against the Spurs and vice versa, what Timmy was going to do against LeBron. If that happens again, I would not be surprised if there is a consideration of conduct detrimental to the league.
Oh, come on.
I would not be
Come
surprised if there was a fine.
Come
We saw the Dallas Mavericks get fined for benching their players with 2 games to go against the Chicago Bulls because they wanted to keep their pick. 750,000. Remember you laughed about how that's not that big of a fine?
Was it? Let me see if I can pull this information up. Was it also the end of a 4-game and 5-night stretch?
Yeah, it was nationally televised. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? I don't care.
You're speaking 1000% as a fan who anticipates to watch it on TV versus the health of a player. Come on.
I'm looking at it from this standpoint, and this is where I think Spurs fans need to realize that this is different. Victor Wembanyama is different. This whole situation is different. When the Spurs were nationally televised back in the heyday, back in the run of 99, 03, 05, 07, and 14, we were not nationally televised because the NBA wanted to showcase the San Antonio Spurs. Even though Tim Duncan is one of the 5 greatest basketball players of all time, it was not to showcase him. It was to showcase a battle between the Spurs and somebody else. You can almost say that the Spurs were the foil. Can LeBron go over the Spurs? Can Kobe? Can Shaq? Can Dirk Nowitzki? All of these guys, Kevin Garnett. The focal point was on those teams, and the Spurs just happened to be in the way. It's part of the narrative. Right now, when it comes to the Spurs being nationally televised, this is the first time that I can remember, might be the first time ever, that the reason why we're being nationally televised is because people want to see the Spurs. People want to see Victor Wembanyama. It's not because they're trying to see a battle between the Spurs and some other superstar. The superstar that people are trying to see that night is Victor Wembanyama. And if Pop goes out there and trots him out there for 10 minutes or sets him out of a nationally televised game or an internationally televised game, there's got to be repercussions for that.
Well,
because the NBA is trying to clamp down on load management.
All right, stop there. An international game, he would be doing a very selfish, self-interest part of coaching if he sat Wemby in some capacity. He would play in an international game, okay, because of just the impact of what it means for the game. So I find it hard to believe that someone with the stature of Pop would decide to sit him short if it was an injury, okay? Injury, another conversation. I just can't imagine anyone in the right mindset, even if he only played for half, okay, or a couple quarters based on logistics. But the coach, I mean, what is the point of the coach, dude? If he
We
can't
saw
make
that on a TNT game. We saw that on a TNT game that was advertised for weeks. LeBron, Duncan, TNT, Thursday night or whatever night it
you think he
was.
should be fined?
Yes. I think that if they want to really clamp down on load management, they call BS on some of this stuff. Now, Tim Duncan was not load managed when he was a rookie. Tim Duncan played all 82 games as a rookie, averaged 39 minutes per
Okay, it's
game.
a different game, though. It's a
Well, he was
different
also
game now.
22 years old as opposed to being 19. And right now, it's funny. I was listening to a podcast last night. I had a long drive last night, and I was listening to a podcast from one of the guys from SI from Sports Illustrated, and he was talking about the fact that a lot of Americans, a lot of San Antonians don't know Wemby's personality. And Wemby's personality, according to this particular reporter from Sports Illustrated who follows Wemby in France, says that he does not like the idea of load management, that he is somebody that wants to play every single game, and that there would be an issue within Wembanyama's camp or within him if he's being told, "Hey, look, it's in your best interest to sit out this game against the Jazz. It's in your best interest to sit out this game against the
You
Bulls."
think that's how the conversation starts with the coach? Is your best interest to sit out?
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of load management.
No, that's not how they phrased it, though. They phrased it the fact that we've played 4 straight games, 4, 5, and 4 and 5 nights,
Right.
and we need to rest you because we have this. I mean, they would spin it in a directional conversation versus it's in your best interest to sit out. It's not that cut and dry.
It's spin, but I mean, keep in mind what the Spurs did last year. Do you think Jeremy Sohan should have missed so much time? No, the Spurs were tanking, and I'm glad that they did. We got Victor Wembanyama as a result. But the point I'm trying to make with this is that this is the first time ever all eyes are on the Spurs because we're the ones being looked at. Because Victor Wembanyama, all eyes are going to be on Wemby. All eyes are going to be on the Spurs. And the reason why we're playing these games on national TV is not because they're excited about Jokic, not because they're excited about LeBron. For the first time ever as a Spurs fan, they're coming to see us. They're coming to see our player. And it's amazing because with Tim, Tony, and Manu, that was never the case. I mean, don't get me wrong, they would be highlighted and showcased from time to time, but it was like in passing. The Spurs right now are going to be one of the most watched teams in the NBA this year, both domestically and internationally.
And because
It's
of
uncharted for us.
Okay, well, that's great. But if because of a coach that sits the player, he's going to be suspended or fined?
If he is seated, okay, I go back to this. There's an old quote from Kobe Bryant who echoed what Michael Jordan would say. And he would say, "People spend a lot of money to watch me play, and therefore I need to make sure that I put on a show and don't sit out games." If Victor Wembanyama, if you are a Spurs fan and you know that ticket prices are skyrocketing because of Wemby Mania, and you go buy tickets and show up at the AT&T Center, and it's like, "Oh, we're going to load manage him today. We're not going to play him," or he trots out there for 5 minutes. Spurs fans would be highly disappointed. The same also goes because he's going to play only one time a year at Madison Square Garden, only one time a year in Boston, one time a year in Philadelphia. There's going to be anger if he is being quote unquote rested as a 19-year-old. And I can see the anger from the NBA coming. Maybe they don't fine Greg Popovich. Maybe they don't suspend him. But I can see the anger coming from a mile away if they do a lot of load management of
Well,
this
you're talking
guy.
two different things now. If he doesn't play and it's consistently he's being sit in marquee matchups, yeah, why wouldn't they? Someone in PR is going to make a reach out to the Spurs and find out what the hell's going on.
Right.
That's guaranteed. there's not much else they can do except ask them not to sit him when he's in a marquee matchup, and especially when it's national television.
Well, the good news is he has to play at least 65 games to be considered for any of the honors. Let's talk more about the Spurs on the other side. The NBA draft combine going on right now in Chicago. We'll also take some calls. Kielbasa Smokebeats phone line 656 ESPN 656-3776. We're talking Spurs on Jimenez and Spence 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Coach Pop has no contract, but he's expected to come back. Jamal Murray went off in the fourth quarter last night, and the Nuggets have a 2-0 lead over the LA Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. It was a spectacular finish by the Nuggets. And tonight, Celtics try to battle back against the Heat in game in Eastern Conference Finals, Game 2. You can hear it right here. ESPN 1250 starting at 7. Rangers are on 94.1.
It's time to play Stump the Experts, where today we'll try to stump Derek and Carlos, personal injury lawyers at Hilly & Solis, otherwise known as the Rexperts.
Hi, Harry. Fire away.
Carlos, how long after an accident do you have to file a personal injury lawsuit?
Well, Harry, there's a 2-year statute of limitations on filing.
Correcto, Rexpert man. Now, Derek, if a company goes bankrupt, can you still win and collect a big settlement?
You definitely can if the company had insurance.
Hey, guys, one more question. How do you like my new baby blue suit with matching shoes and belt?
Honestly, that should be illegal.
Hurt in a wreck? You need to call the Rexperts at Hilly & Solis Law. Millions in settlements and no BS. The Rexperts are former prosecutors who are comfortable in the courtroom, and the Rexperts don't get paid unless your settlement is secured. See if your crash could turn into cash with the Rexperts, your accident injury lawsuit experts.
Experts are the way to go. Call 446-5000.
Call 1-877-RECT.
Attention business owners. Stop throwing your hard-earned money away on rent. Imagine owning your own building and saving thousands every year. Sound impossible? Not if you use General Steel. General Steel can help you save thousands by owning your own custom-designed building. Just call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-74-STEEL to see how much money you can save with General Steel. Our buildings come with a 50-year warranty, and thousands of companies, from Fortune 500 corporations to startups, have trusted the General with their building needs.
If you need to expand or start a new business, you really need General Steel.
I'm very impressed with General Steel. Everyone's been extremely helpful. I'd recommend General Steel to anyone looking to build a steel building.
Stop wasting money on rent. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-74-STEEL to find out about all our popular quick construction kits, including a 40 by 60-foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building. Just call 888-747-8335 now. That's 888-74-STEEL.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates. It's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs that will significantly reduce the amount you owe if you qualify. Accredited Debt Relief has helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. For this free information, call 800-458-8822. 800-458-8822.
When you have trouble sleeping, it's tough. When kids have trouble sleeping,
Mom, I can't sleep. Dad, just one more story?
for nights like this, try Vicks Pure Z's Kids. Our great tasting gummies are specially formulated for kids with a unique blend of botanicals and a low dose of melatonin to support their natural sleep cycle. Best of all, they're drug-free and non-habit forming. Help your child fall asleep naturally with Pure Z's Kids Gummies. Consult with a doctor before use. For ages 4 and up.
Shiny and strong and healthy and hydrated. Your hair can do it all. So get to Ulta Beauty's Gorgeous Hair Event, happening now, to see how you can take your hair to a whole new level. Discover beauty steals of 50% off must-haves from brands like Way and It's a 10. And explore exciting new arrivals from Lola V and Olaplex. These deals won't last long. So hurry. This event ends June 3rd. Shop in-store, online, or pick up today. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day, and they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
And now try Babbel free. Text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Valvoline Advanced can help your engine get more miles. Right now, buy a 5-quart jug and get a free STP Extended Life Oil Filter. That's right, free. Get started on your next job today with the parts you need, when you need them, at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
All guests appearing on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star appear on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control rental and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. It's showtime. It's Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We've been talking about Victor Wembanyama and whether or not the Spurs are going to load manage him in the upcoming season. My name's Mike Jimenez, hanging out with Tim Spence. Thank you to all of you who are following us on YouTube right now. We're on YouTube Live. Haiti says, I like Wemby thinking about not sitting out if he's not injured. He's a competitor. Frank comes out and says, as long as he plays in LA, New York, or Golden State, the commissioner will be perfectly fine. Spence, give me an over-under. What number of games, provided that he's healthy, do you think Wemby will play?
He'll play at least 65.
I would hope so. I would hope so.
If the 65 is the magic number,
right,
for Rookie of the Year, they'll find a way to play him at least 65. I think we're getting worked up over semantics here.
Right.
Do I think it'd be north of 70? Honestly, yeah. Do I think it'd be north of 75? No.
Tim Duncan played 82 in his first season, all 82 games.
Okay, so what's that mean?
39 minutes per game. You had Jeremy Sohan last year. I think he played 56 games. There were some questions as to whether or not he was just sat out for tanking purposes. But what do you guys think? Kilbasa Smoke Meats phone line, 656 ESPN, 656-3776. We got Chris on line 1. What's up, Chris?
What's going on, Mike? How you doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Hey, man, just wanted to bring up, so like you said, Timmy played 82 games his first season. He played 3 full seasons in his first 5 years. In his last 4 years, he averaged 70 games plus. LeBron James, in his last 4 seasons played, has only played about 56 games per season. I don't think we got to worry too much about load management, man. That's just my opinion. But what do you think about that?
Chris, I hope so, man. I hope you're 100% correct in that. I know that Tim Duncan was 22 years old and had a man's body coming in. Don't get me wrong, Victor Wembanyama at 7'4", 7'5" in shoes, does have a man's body height-wise, but when it comes to, physical stature, he's 238, 239. He might need to fill out a little bit more. But thank you for the phone call. I hope that he is going to be able to play a lot of minutes, a lot of games, and to hear that he's a competitor who wants to stay out there is a good thing. But Spence, when you hear that about Victor Wembanyama, according to Sports Illustrated's podcast that I heard last night, they said that Wemby wants to be part of the offense. And he wants to be a focal point of the offense. And the word that they used, or the phrase that they used, was he checks out defensively if he's not part of the game offensively. And I don't know how true that is or not, or how much access this Sports Illustrated guy has had to Wemby in his games. But they were basically saying that he doesn't want to be pigeonholed into one particular position. Do you see Wemby with all his skill sets, the ability to shoot, the ability to drive, the ability to do all that? It's kind of like, how do you call him a position? He's just kind of everything. He's his own thing.
The unicorn?
Yeah.
Okay.
The queen on the chessboard.
Okay. So here we are in the next level of the Wemby conversation. Where are the issues? Where are the challenges? Where are the what are the baby steps we have to take to, take him and tear him down? He's a power forward center. Why don't we let him develop into the player he's going to develop into? The people that, we're not even freaking how many 4 days from the draft lottery, okay?
Yeah.
And we have people on SI.com, probably other entities. Well, here's where his challenges are. Okay. Don't you think the teams know where his freaking challenges are? Do you think they've been analyzed to the point of ad nauseum? Do you think the Spurs know? Every NBA team in the National Basketball Association knows what his challenges are probably going to be. We don't know for sure. So when he sits there and says, "Oh, he's going to check out when he doesn't play, every aspect of the game," did you have that conversation with him, or are you just making assumptions to see what sticks, get people's reaction, like ours? I think it's all about just trying to throw stuff against the wall, see what sticks, and then see. I told you about that earlier in his career.
Well, I like the fact that he seems to be a very mature young man.
He's very mature.
And because of that, I'm optimistic about it all. I'm super excited as a Spurs fan. Okay. And I'm not trying to make this be a Debbie Downer moment. It's just my voice is deeper today. Okay. But I am super excited as a Spurs fan. I just want, I wonder whether or not he wants to be the alpha on day one and be the leader of the team, or is it going to be Keldon's team next year?
Do you really
Is
think
it-
he's going to come in as alpha?
I do. I do. I think so. I think he has to.
No, not what you think he has to do.
Right.
What do you think he actually will do?
Well, there's a difference between the situation with Victor Wembanyama compared to what Tim Duncan went through in '97. Tim Duncan came to a team that had David Robinson, and David Robinson, that was his team, and it was a transition right away
Let's
to
go.
Tim's team.
Let's
But
go.
he didn't have to be the
Let's go for
alpha in the
let's
room.
go for the absolute best comparison. LeBron. LeBron, they're saying, "Oh, the best player since LeBron."
Right.
LeBron goes to Cleveland. He comes in. He pretty much was the alpha.
Yeah.
There's times where you felt like he was, he hadn't reached it all 110% of the time. But LeBron has been in the media spotlight in the United States his entire life. So there was an easier step for him to make when he made that step in the NBA from high school. I know it's France. I know it's Euro. I know he's got plenty of exposure over there, but it's not the microscope of Madison Square Garden. It's not the microscope of Philly, of LA. It's not ESPN on a second-to-second basis. His bet, the best for the best of Wemby, come in with a humbled heart. Show your seniority, show your expertise, show your alpha on the court, and you will become the alpha without even trying to think I have to be the alpha day one. You come, and I think he is. I think the mindset of the Euro is I'm coming in to do a job. Let me do my job. Okay.
And that's the difference between foreign-born players and American players who go through the AAU circuit. We see it all the time. And if you look at some of the biggest stars in the NBA right now, from Nick Jokic to um, Giannis and Luka Doncic, they're very team oriented. Maybe not so much Luka. Luka is somebody who's a little bit more all about himself. Still a great player, but I love the European mentality to come into the NBA.
Look at Giannis. You had a great example. Okay. Because we talked about it. Giannis, is he there? Is he the alpha on that team?
Most definitely.
Was he the alpha day one?
In a weird way, yes. In a weird way, no.
He was not crowned the alpha when he started.
Right.
But he developed and he turned himself into the alpha on that team. When we should look at Giannis and say, that's how I want to approach this.
That's Tim Spence. My name's Mike Jimenez. When we come back, let's talk about a couple of things. The NBA Combine going on in Chicago right now. Guess what? The Spurs are talking to players who are expected to go in the first round. Does this mean that they're going to try to trade back into the first round? That'd be amazing. And also, Greg Popovich yet to sign his deal. What's up with that? Jimenez and Spence at 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe, today at 3.
Former San Antonio Spur and NBA champ Danny Green will join us on The Blitz at 4:30, talking NBA playoffs and Wemby. We'll talk Cowboys with John Machota from The Athletic at 5:30. The Blitz starts at 3.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe, today at 3 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
At Diamonds Direct, we know your first impression of us is probably bridal jewelry. Engagement rings, wedding bands, and yes, you're right, there's a reason we're the nation's premier bridal jewelry destination. But you're missing out if you don't also think about Diamonds Direct for jewelry gifts for other special moments, like birthdays, graduations, sweet 16s, anniversaries. Our collection of fashion jewelry is second to none. Cases filled with rings, bands, pendants, bracelets, colored gemstones, beautiful jewelry starting at around $300. Jewelry boxes across America are being filled with our diamond classics, like stud and hoop earrings and stunning tennis bracelets. Everyday jewelry that you can wear with anything. And know this, the same quality and value you appreciate in our bridal collections, you'll find as well in our fashion jewelry. No compromises. So as you celebrate all the amazing moments of your life, remember Diamonds Direct. Let us help you celebrate with a gift of lasting value. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Details, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Ask Sherwin-Williams and get 35% off Emerald products and Super Deck stains May 19th through the 22nd. That means 35% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 35% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Small business owners, we know finishing your to-do list can feel like rowing upstream, but it's a river, a whitewater river, and the only paddles you have are pool noodles. Then when a new to-do pops up, you're like, nope, I'm already rowing upstream with these pool noodle paddles. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy to get personalized discounts with a commercial auto insurance quote online, so your to-do list is smooth sailing. See if you can save on commercial auto insurance in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverages and discounts not available in all states and subject to policy terms and underwriting.
Missions Baseball is back Tuesday night at Wolf Stadium. It's AARP $2 Tuesday, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Gates open at 6 p.m. First pitch at 7:05. Go to samissions.com for tickets. We are San Antonio. This Friday at Dive Bar, 6422 Babcock, backed by popular request. It's the return of JJ and PJ Varial. Plus, enjoy $5 Rumple Mints, $5 Crown, and $3 Bud Light. And the kitchen's open till midnight. Dive Bar, 6422 Babcock, a free rides venue.
I was in a terrible car accident. I suffered a traumatic brain injury and also injured my spine. My daughter-in-law called Jeff Davis. After expenses and attorney fees, I received $86,559. I want everyone in San Antonio to know Jeff was here for me.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you were injured by a car or large truck, call me at my San Antonio office at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. There's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
Mornings were made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis or RA. Xeljanz tofacitinib is a pill for adults with moderate to severe RA. when tumor necrosis factor blockers did not work well or could not be tolerated. Xeljanz can help relieve joint pain, swelling, and help stop further joint damage. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections. Don't start if you have one. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections like TB and do blood tests. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, cancers including lymphoma and lung, blood clots, serious heart-related events, tears in the stomach or intestines, and allergic reactions have happened. People 50 and older with heart disease risk factors have an increased risk of death. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, are prone to infections, or have ever had a heart attack, stroke, clot, or other heart problems, or swelling of lips, tongue, throat, or hives. Ask your doctor about prescription Xeljanz. Visit Xeljanz.com or call 1-844-XELJANZ.
The NFL is on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, you, just keep on dancing.
Jimenez Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We're super excited that Victor Wembanyama is coming to San Antonio. Just 3 days removed of winning the lottery. Absolutely insane. You know, the NBA draft combine is taking place already in Chicago, leading up to the draft, which is in about 5 weeks. Some news and notes about it. Sports Illustrated, ESPN, both saying that it looks almost certain that Charlotte's going to take Brandon Miller at number 2 and that Scoot Henderson might fall in the draft. 3, 4. Insane, because a lot of people thought that Scoot Henderson was going to be the number 2 guy.
Yeah, I think, and this is what we talked about the other day, and I think is absolutely something that if the Spurs aren't thinking about, and obviously anyone who has some smarts is thinking about this, okay? We have Wemby. Now, how do we take it even further than just saying, hey, we got Wemby, sit back and see what unfolds?
Yeah.
You have all this draft capital. You have all these pieces to the puzzle. You have, to your comparative earlier, you've got 5 queens on my chessboard, and I can go wherever the hell I want to go, whenever I want to go there. Okay. So utilize them all. Do something that can help move this even to a higher level than just having Wemby and 4 other guys. We haven't figured out who they are. Figure out now who you want and go get them.
Yeah, right now you mentioned the draft capital. The Spurs have 11 first-round draft picks between 2024 and 2028, 21 second-rounders. We even have a high second-rounder this year that is just like a few spots removed from being a first-rounder. On top of that, you know, we might have 3 first-rounders next year, 3 in 2025 already. Are we going to bring in the veterans? Or are we going to just, you know, maybe move back into the draft to start getting some talent now? And right now, there are reports that the Spurs interviewed a guard from Kentucky named Cason Wallace. Why that's a big deal is because Cason Wallace will not be there in the second round. This is a guy that most mock drafts have going somewhere between 12 and 18, mid-first round. Will the Spurs consider, you know, shipping off two future first rounders, for example, to get back in the draft, just like the Houston Texans moved up from 12 to 3 after they got CJ Stroud? I think that would be fantastic if they did that.
Be careful how you compare and contrast leagues, because I don't think it's a fair comparison. What they did is, okay, where you're going, but training up in the NFL is different than training up in the NBA.
Fair enough.
I think you can sit there and say, if I had, and I really liked this player from Kentucky, and I'm just picking one out of the naked city, and I want to give you my second pick because you're going to want something current, right? But I'm going to throw you 2 ones. Okay, you better make sure that this is your starting guard for the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
But you're playing with house money. You're playing with house money. Maybe it's the second this year and the first next year, okay? But you're still playing with house money because how many ones do they have next year?
3. Well, 2 guaranteed, possibly 3, depending on whether one's protected or not.
Yeah, you're playing with house money. What is the problem? If you find the guy, now if you're making a reach, another conversation.
Right. Let's hear from GM Brian Wright because he's still beaming and enjoying every moment of this combine after getting Wemby in the draft lottery.
The combine is amazing. It's a big part of what we do in our draft process. It's the first opportunity you really get a chance to spend time with the prospects. Obviously, we're getting a chance to see some guys play live here, and compare it to what we saw in their programs. Maybe we're getting to see things that we didn't get a chance to see earlier in the season. And it's just a great opportunity to see what we thought we knew, if that's truly the case, and learn about some guys that maybe weren't as high on the radar that are popping up now. So our staff is enjoying it. It's one of our favorite parts of the process, and it's been a great few days so far.
You never know what the Spurs are thinking when it comes to the draft. Jeremy Sohan, I thought, was a good pick at number 9. If you look, though, in the years before that, getting Luka Samanic at 19 was a reach. Getting Joshua Primo at 11 or 12 was a reach. These were guys that were projected to be second-round picks, but the Spurs reached for them. I wonder if the opposite thinking is going on. People who are projected to go pretty high that might slide down. And let's say the Spurs are holding the number 33 or 34 pick, whatever that pick is in the second round. And if this guy is around at 25, 26, that they have focused on or are fixated on, maybe they move their way back up.
All options are on the table. And should be.
Yeah. As we mentioned, Spurs have a bunch of draft capital, lots of cap space, $37 million as of now. And the team has a history of working well with foreign-born players. And let's hear from Brian Wright talking about that success of working with the foreign guys.
The success of international players in the past, it's helped us understand things that we need to have in that environment to help them acclimate to the system, to the city, and all of those things. And so we learn a lot from our past, but we also have to learn a lot about what each individual needs, right? And what the last person needed 10, 15, 20 years ago. The next generation may need something completely different, and leaving it open to truly understand who they are and what they need to be successful, and how do we go out and find that and add it to the program.
Spurs GM Brian Wright, obviously on cloud 9 right now because you win that draft lottery. Hey, Spence, that podcast I was listening to last night about the draft lottery, they were saying that when the ping pong balls were coming out, that it took between 10 and 15 seconds for each ball to come up, right? And everyone's holding a scorecard of the combinations that they own, and they know who owns which combination. The first number that popped up was 14. And everybody got excited in the room because 14 means all 14 teams had a chance and were still alive. When they got down to the second ball, the third ball, there were 11 combinations left over to win when the final ball was coming up. Only 11. The Spurs were holding one of those combinations. The Washington Wizards had 6 of them.
Wow.
Had a 6 and 11 chance when the last ball was coming up, and it went to number 2. And Brian Wright, apparently, according to this reporter who was in the room when the lottery was being done, said that Brian Wright had no idea that the Spurs had won. That he was still looking at his program, looking for the number, and he got nudged by one of the Rockets execs saying, "It's you. You got Wemby." Pretty damn cool. Greg Popovich is apparently going to be the head coach next year. It's not official yet. Don't know if you know this, but he is not under contract right now. But I think it's safe to say that we all assume that right now he's still the head coach of the Spurs, right? I mean, may not have a contract, but he's the head coach right now.
Why would you think that he's not coming back? When Wemby references the Spurs, he's talking about Pop.
Yeah.
Pop's going to be here.
And that is the difference because I think that Pop is the guy who gets the best out of a very, very good player. I don't think he's the rebuild guy. I think he's the reload guy. And suddenly we went from rebuild to reload right away by winning that draft lottery Tuesday night. By the way, did you know that Greg Popovich took over as head coach December 10th of 1996? That is 9,656 days ago. It's the same year the Dallas Cowboys won their last Super Bowl. Was looking it up. The number one song at the time, I love Tony Braxton. Unbreak My Heart was the number one song when Greg Popovich took over as head coach of the Spurs. By the way, that same week that he took over as head coach of the Spurs, the movie Jerry Maguire premiered in theaters. I love historical facts like this, by the way. This gets me going. Also, Blockbuster Video only had VHS tapes at the time because DVDs had yet to be released. And there is a sports star that was born the day that Pop was named head coach, December 10th, 1996. Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow, who went to LSU like my daughter. Another 2 hours of Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We'll be back in a few seconds.
This is Jimenez and Spence. Jimenez and Spence. KTFM, Floresville. And always at ESPNSA.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Don't look now, but we have a liver atop the PGA Championship second round going on right now. Bryson DeChambeau is 4 under. We'll tee off in the second round later this afternoon. Jamal Murray, 23 points in the fourth quarter as the Nuggets beat the Lakers to take a 2-0 lead in the Western Conference Finals. And tonight's Celtics Heat Game 2. Celtics need to battle back to make this a series. You can hear the game on ESPN 1250 starting at 7.
Sports Center is brought to you by Kielbasa Slow Crafted Sausage, available at your local grocery stores.
Mike Jimenez.
The San Antonio Spurs are the world champions.
Tim Spence.
Victory! Cowboys win!
It's showtime. It's Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And I think we see Willis coming out. There he comes right now. 6 feet 10 from Trembling. The most valuable player of the NBA.
Thank you, Pledge. I survived hour number 1 of Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I was a big Willis Reed fan back in the day.
Really?
I mean, my middle name is Reed, so it's kind of like, it was ongoing bit with my neighbor friend that I still have today that was my favorite NBA player because of same middle names, and when he passed recently, it's struck the heart pretty close, but. I'm glad to see you stepped up, you sucked it up. You've got enough medication on the side of this table to shake a stick at.
Mm-hmm.
And some of it's good, some of it's not. In between the breaks, I see you rip up enough. You need some more honey? Because I think we're down to maybe a couple packs left.
So I'm down to about 4 packs of honey.
You rip them off and you suck it down like it's your last honey pack.
Yeah.
And
I forgot that we're on YouTube, by the way, because I'm over here gargling like an idiot. And I have my apple cider vinegar, and you told me to speak in a lower register so my voice doesn't crack.
Save the voice.
I didn't realize that when I get excited when I start the show, that I speak in a higher register.
Oh, huh. Funny.
But
how long have we been talking about that?
A little bit. But I feel much more manly. Let me look. There is more chest hair this morning than there was before.
And some other things down south of the equator that seems like a little bit bigger too.
Yes. It just is what it is, man. Becoming a man here on the radio. Who would have thought? Had an award-winning show before I became a man on radio. By the way, who took off the James Pledger name? Because again, he took paper and tape and he taped his name to my award, and it's gone. Was that a Rob Thompson thing?
No, it's been gone. It was a joke. I
did.
literally
Okay.
sent it to you last night, and once I took the picture, took it off.
For the moment.
Because if you hadn't done it, if you had kept it there, I probably would have kept it there.
You're such a giver.
No, because I got to remind myself, I got to do better so I can get a second award. I got to act like I've been there, type of thing. We do have a question for you Spurs fans out there. It's one that Spence and I are enjoying. It's what would a Victor Wembanyama taco be called?
We saw some ideas yesterday, so hit us up with those again today. But I wonder how big we should look up what the world record is for the biggest taco.
Well, first of all, I got to take you to Rolando's. Rolando's here in town. The taco's bigger than my laptop. It is basically the size of this.
Well, that's nothing.
A little bit more than that.
You brought those in one day.
Yeah, I did. Those are $9 tacos.
That was his first carne asada.
No, we got those from someplace. We got that from another place on Old Highway 90. I think that was like Rico's or something like that. So some people reaching out to us. Eric Salinas says Wembacoa, Gwen Big Red. I like the Gwen. Thank you so much. Marcelo agrees with me that Wemby asada. Wemby asada. I like Wemby guisada. Okay. Others are saying that it has to be something like a crepe. I don't believe so. No, thank you. Let's see here. A variation of the Monte Cristo sandwich. Well, that's not a taco, but I'm sure we'll eat it if it has a flour tortilla around it. But Pleasure showed me that the largest taco ever, the Guinness World Record of tacos, it is basically the size of me. Okay, that thing looks like it's 5, 6 feet tall. That's ridiculous.
What are you talking about?
These photos right here that Pleasure's showing of the largest tacos ever. The
No,
largest flour taco in the world
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
was in Mexico in
Yeah,
2003.
it's not as tall as you. It's
Oh,
36 feet.
I'm looking at the photo here. Okay, so it's the size of 5 Wembies, and it is 1,654 pounds. I'm assuming, Pledge, that the Cowboy Breakfast, if we really wanted to try, could beat that. I mean, that's the whole thing about Cowboy Breakfast is the free tacos. But I like a lot of the suggestions being made.
I'm telling you right now, somebody needs to do that. If they did it in Mexico, we can do it here. Nothing against Mexico, but if it's been done already,
Yeah.
you can't do one for 600 or 1,655 pounds.
But what kind of taco
You
would it
can't do
be?
it 35.9 feet. You can't beat that.
I mean, think about the math that goes into the
But
amount
then-
of
but-
ingredients that would need to be made.
Right, but then brand it as the Wemby taco.
I like where you're going with that. Roman reaches out. He might have the winner, by the way, because I hadn't even thought about this. He's saying the Wembean and cheese.
How about this? The Wemby Waco.
I like it.
What about a Wempanada?
Wow. Pledge from way downtown. Bang.
Bang.
We'll be talking about the Lakers and
Murray.
Jamal
Bang.
Murray looking at Mike Breen after making a 3-point shot and screaming bang, letting him know that he's going off. That's amazing. Kielbasa Smoke Beats phone line 656 ESPN.
So what would go in the taco though?
You know,
is it chicken? I don't think.
No, it's not chicken.
chicken.
No,
It's got to be beef, doesn't it?
it's got
Meat?
to be some sort of meat, some sort of protein in there.
Yes.
I don't know. The term Wembacoa is kind of big because San Antonio's into barbacoa. I'm going to lose complete San Antonio points by saying this, but I'm not a fan of barbacoa. I'm not. I have family. My family from California came over here for a wedding last month. My nephew got married, and we went to go get barbacoa every single day, and they love it. And for a lot of places, it's so greasy, and because of that, it just makes my stomach ache. I just don't have the stomach for it. It doesn't taste bad. It's just so greasy. But my wife, every Saturday morning, if I want to be on her good side, if you know what I mean, I need to go get her barbacoa with corn tortillas, green salsa, some pan dulce, and I need to get her a Big Red. And if I do that on Saturday,
Diet Big Red or regular?
Big Red, right? Because if you're doing barbacoa, you may as well just go all out. And then I make my way over to the Culebra Meat Market next door, and I get myself a potato and egg taco, and I go home, and that is the tradition that we have on Saturdays.
Is that are these things on the calendar like the other good stuff?
They're yes. This is on the calendar. This is what makes the calendar.
Amongst other things.
Yes,
we won't go there, but they are fun
Oh
times.
no, we've gone there before.
We
on
have
the show.
gone.
Yes.
So what's on the calendar besides when you get
No.
tacos for the wife?
And I'm proud of saying this. If you want to have a healthy marriage, you got to be best friends with your spouse. You got to flirt with your spouse, and you got to have some alone time, if you know what I mean. You know, you got to make the mattress go at least a regular amount of times per week.
Okay.
And
why can't this be just a conversation between you and the wife? Why does it have to be on the calendar though?
Well, because the
'Cause she
calendar
forgets?
makes it important.
Because she forgets.
And it says, Michael, why don't you take a shower and brush your teeth? Okay.
It eliminates. I'm all for this because it eliminates her sitting there telling you I have a headache. It's on the
Right.
calendar. You could have taken some Advil before before today.
I have RSVP'd on these special days per week for the rest of my life. Yes.
Yes.
You need to have some loving in order to have a healthy marriage.
So love it. So
And-
you're a Journey fan now. Loving, touching, squeezing.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. At Spankin, we got it all.
Not sure I was looking for that kind of information, but thanks, Mike.
I was thinking of another word that ended with N that didn't have 4 letters in front of it. But this has been fun. This has been fun. We've got a lot to get into. NBA playoffs. You know, the NBA playoffs will be a lot more fun next year because I am expecting the Spurs to be in the playoffs next year. We've been talking about Pop. We've been talking about Wemby. We've been talking about the NBA draft combine that's going on right now. And you've got to suspect that Brian Wright, the GM of the Spurs, who, by the way, was like a groundhog the first few years he was the GM over here. Because I swear to you, Spence, if you put him on a lineup of people, and he is the Spurs general manager, you know how big of a Spurs fan I am, right? You know how big Spurs fans are here in San Antonio. We're all coming back. Team Tank, Team Plan, we're all back together. We're all one big happy family. None of us could identify who this guy is. Like, how do you not know
I bet he
what
loves
he
that.
looks like? It's not like Pelinka in with the Lakers or when Danny Ainge was there or Pat Riley or whomever has been a GM over the years.
I think it has something to do with the fact that it's San Antonio versus Boston.
No, I think it has everything to do with that the Spurs do not like to associate with the media and they keep everything in-house. It's going to be weird to see what happens from here on out because there's going to be a demand not only from the local level, but the national level, from the league, from the international companies like Canal Plus, which is France's version of ESPN. They're all going to want to have access. And you know there's going to be like an ongoing documentary filming of Victor Wembanyama's journey to San Antonio, journey to the NBA. It's going to be something that I think the Spurs are going to have to, and I'm hopeful. I think it's going to be something that the Spurs have to change, just to like conform to all the demands that are going their way, because I don't think the old way of doing things is going to work this time. And
Old ways?
Yeah. Because
top of the list, old way.
Old way would be controlling all access of media. If
Whoa. Controlling all access of media. Why would that change now, especially with Wemby?
Because there's more eyes on them. Because there's more people asking.
There's going to be
it's national.
Yeah, but there's going to be more control, dude. If you think for a second that Mike Jimenez, probably the biggest Spurs fan in town on radio, if not, you're in the conversation. Fair?
Fair.
Do you think for a second they're going to put Wemby on your show?
No, I'm not saying with me.
A one-on-one?
But what I'm
if
saying,
you go out there and try and get a one-on-one with Wemby, do you think they're going to say, hey, listen, let's take care of Mike Jimenez right here?
No, I don't.
They're not.
But what I am saying is Brian Windhorst from ESPN. What I am saying is, Rachel Nichols. What I am saying
What about
is,
them?
I'm saying that they're suddenly going to be asking for access to this player that the Spurs have never really given access to things like that before.
They're going to be told no on occasion, but no. So let's separate it, because I think I would agree with you if that's where you're going. From a local standpoint versus a national standpoint,
local is going to be the same.
As in what?
As in it's standard operating procedure, what we've had since 1996.
I think it's going to be even tighter because no one's going to really give a rip about third or fourth player on the team. They're going to want Wemby 24/7. And the answer to that every time is going to be no. Doesn't mean that he couldn't do it. Doesn't mean he doesn't even want to do it. It's the fact that the PR department will just say no because that's the standard operating procedure. And that hasn't changed and won't change. You might even think about this for the irony of this. Sohan was probably a tough request last year. And this might not be a good example, but just throw a name into the conversation. Sohan might be an option better this year of getting on than he was last year because of Wemby.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. And there's also rumors out there, and I don't think they're rumors in the sense that these are bad things to say, but the press area for the AT&T Center is going to have to double or triple.
Oh, sure it will.
Now, you mentioned Jeremy Sohan. Interesting. He had a tweet last night asking a very simple question. Why does King James flop so much? What a great tweet. He got on my good side with that one. Speaking of King James.
Or failed to make a dunk when he needs to.
Look at that. Just like that. He's on the Sohan bandwagon. All it took was a shot at LeBron. And all of a sudden, Jeremy Sohan's his son.
No, he's not my son yet.
Yeah, but you see,
he's not my son yet. He's my nephew.
You see LeBron try and make it a special kind of throw the hip dunk, and he lost the ball.
Oh, yeah. He looked old yesterday. And wow. We need to talk about the Lakers last night. LeBron looking old. Lakers, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. And we're going to hear from the head coach of the Denver Nuggets, who is saying, I don't want to hear about this being an LA-centric.
Did I tell you that yesterday?
Yeah.
Did I not say that yesterday? It was so freaking blatant. When the head coach goes out of his way, there's so many things you could talk about positive, but when he goes out of his way to mention that, it is just so... It's sad, it's bad, and every national, including ESPN, is at fault.
Yep, we're going to hear from Coach Malone. We're going to hear from Jokic, and we're going to hear from the hero Jamal Murray on the other side, Jimenez and Spence, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
After 21 years of gun shows in Live Oak, this is the final weekend at the Hilton Garden Inn on Pat Booker in Live Oak. Texas gun shows featuring guns, knives, military collectibles, ammunition, and much more. Now through Sunday at the Hilton Garden Inn on Pat Booker Road in Live Oak.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Deep into the Himalayas, where I found the most enlightened person on earth, and I said, "What is the meaning of life?" They said back to me, "Do it at Mother's and save." That's right. You're the most enlightened person on earth when you bring your vehicle to Mother's Window Tint. We have stereos on sale. We have car alarm on sale. We have Oh, Mother's Window Tint. You can find us in Austin and San Antonio and on the web. Mother's Window Tint since 1984. We make your car go thump, thump, thump. Mother thump. Mother's Window Tint is located with 4 stores in San Antonio. So make sure you get to see us any Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 6. Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
It's time to play Stump the Experts, where today we'll try to stump Derek and Carlos, personal injury lawyers at Hilly and Solis, otherwise known as the Rexperts.
Hi, Harry. Fire away.
Carlos, how long after an accident do you have to file a personal injury lawsuit?
Well, Harry, there's a 2-year statute of limitations on filing.
Correcto, Rexpert man. Now, Derek, if a company goes bankrupt, can you still win and collect a big settlement?
You definitely can if the company had insurance.
Hey guys, one more question. How do you like my new baby blue suit with matching shoes and belt?
Honestly, that should be illegal.
Hurt in a wreck? You need to call the Rexperts at Hilly and Solis Law. Millions in settlements and no BS. The Rexperts are former prosecutors who are comfortable in the courtroom, and the Rexperts don't get paid unless your settlement is secured. See if your crash could turn into cash with the Rexperts, your accident injury lawsuit experts. Call 1-877-RECT.
Your home for the Dallas Cowboys is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Davis off the switch, steps back, launches the triple try, and connects! Murray with a 3 with 7:09 to go. 7 hand calls for time, and the Nuggets go up 4, their biggest lead of game 2.
When I was little, I used to, count down the seconds and off the shot clock and make the shot and talk like Marv Albert and talk like Mike Green. You know what I'm saying? Just the imagination running as a kid. So when you get in that moment and you see your family in the crowd, you see your little brother, you see Mike Green there. You see all these little reminders. They all pay dividends and make that moment a little more special and just kind of lock you back in. You want to miss that opportunity, and sometimes it's just reflecting on those moments and remembering how fun it was to do that and be able to not miss the stage. Playing the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers and LeBron James it's an amazing opportunity, and it's something you can look back in history and remember for the rest of your life. So let's try to make the most of it, and it's fun when you've got it going like that.
Hey, LeBron fans, Lakers lovers, bang! That guy's name is Jamal Murray. He's a badass. Welcome to the Western Conference Finals. My goodness, Jamal Murray going off for 23 points in the fourth quarter, 37 points for the night. Nuggets beat the Lakers 108-103, now up 2-0 in the Western Conference Finals. Lakers got to win 4 of the next 5 if they want to go to the NBA Finals.
Now's the time to put some money on that action right there. I bet you could get a good number on that one.
I'll look that one up during the commercial break. That's a very good point. We should have had action against Rob and Rudy from R&R in the morning because both of them picking the Lakers to win this series.
They talk a big NBA smack, but do they really understand the NBA? They're Laker fans through and through, and just admit it. If it's not the Spurs, it's the Lakers. If it's not the Lakers and LeBron, it's the Spurs.
I was going for a nice little 3.5-mile walk while listening to them the other day, and they were like, 1 through 7, the Lakers are better. What? No way. No way in the world. You and I were debating how many games it's going to go. I said the Nuggets in 5. You said the Nuggets in 6, and then you joked, but it could be 4. Man, it's the Nuggets. It's going to be a weird thing going on right now because right now the Nuggets are in control of that series. And right now the Miami Heat have a chance of going up 2-0. This is going to be a nightmare for the NBA.
I think it's going to be an ugly nightmare for the NBA. But go back to the Lakers for a second. Okay, let's put some money on game 3 back in LA. I think the Lakers come with everything, including the kitchen sink. That is almost worth putting money on because of the guarantee the Lakers are going to win game 3.
Well,
the Nuggets are going to phone it in.
No, I don't think so, man. What I think is going to happen is I think the Lakers are going to come out, like you said, throw the kitchen sink at it and just boom, 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 try to go toe to toe, toe to toe. They're going to try to do a Mike Tyson type of play.
And by the
where
third
they're gonna
quarter, fourth quarter,
I think they're done. I think they'll be exhausted, and I think the Nuggets make a comeback. It's just the question is, will there be enough time on the clock to make that comeback? Nikola Jokic last night, he had an off night, just 23 points, 17 rebounds, and 12
yeah,
assists.
just triple double.
Off night, but here's what he had to say about Jamal Murray being big time last night in game 2.
He was special and he won us the game. He scored 20 something in the fourth quarter. He got us the lead, his energy. He played 40 something in 42 minutes. So, I think he was amazing. Yes, maybe in the first half he struggled to make shots, but when it mattered the most, he made shots and he won us the game basically.
Nikola Jokic, best player in the NBA. Better believe it. Talking about LeBron James, they lost by 5 points. They needed those 2 points that he fumbled away in the second quarter, trying to go for a monster dunk, trying to go for this circus windmill type of thing, like he's at the slam dunk competition. And instead, the ball just goes behind the backboard because he lost control on a 1-on-0 fast break. How often do you see that from this guy, from LeBron James?
You don't. So when he does it and he fails miserably, he gets lit up on Twitter like he did.
Yeah.
You can call him old. You can call him all you want to do it. Obviously they lost control of the ball. And I'll use your spin here regarding LeBron. When he becomes available in free agency, you'll want him on the freaking Spurs tomorrow. It's the love-hate relationship with players. We hate him until all of a sudden he's on your team. And hey, I think he's got a few years left on him.
Well, LeBron's no longer a top 5 player in the NBA. LeBron is top 15, still a great player, but he's not at the height of his powers anymore. And they're asking for way too much from him. And, father time catches up to everybody at some point in the NBA. And LeBron has so many miles on the odometer because the number of not only regular season games that he plays, but also the playoff games and all the finals. I mean, we've never seen anybody like this play so many games. And LeBron James, all-time points leader, he's a legend. He's one of the greatest players of all time. But even he will one day lose to Father Time. He's still beating Father Time, but it's a pretty close game right now. Let's hear from LeBron James because, I think the Lakers are in trouble. Spence thinks the Lakers are in trouble. But LeBron sees it as the Nuggets just simply holding serve.
I mean, what you take out of it is the fact that this is not the NCAA tournament. It's the first team to 4 wins. And we have an opportunity to go home and play great basketball and home serve. Until the team beats you 4 times, then you always have an opportunity to come out of it. That's the confidence that we should have. And I know it's going to be a tough hill to climb up, but we still have an opportunity to play good basketball and play the best basketball of the series in game 3. And like I said, if we can get better from game 2, like we did tonight, to game 3, then we put ourselves in a position to do that.
I get what LeBron is saying. It's the first of 4, but guess what? The Nuggets are halfway there. The Nuggets won the first 2 games of round 1, the first 2 games of round 2, and now the first 2 games of the Western Conference Finals. Now, my favorite part of this whole story, though, involves head coach Mike Malone of the Denver Nuggets, because you called it, Spence. You were so upset about the national narrative when it came to the Nuggets winning game 1. It was not about the Nuggets. It was about the Lakers. Mike Malone, oh my God, just kind of went off on the media. Here's Mike Malone after taking a 2-0 lead over the Lakers.
I think a lot of our guys, to be honest, they may not admit this or not. You win game 1 of the playoffs, and all everybody talked about was the Lakers. Let's be honest. That was a national narrative was, hey, the Lakers are fine. They're down 1-0, but they figured something out. No one talked about Nikola just had a historic performance. He's got 13 triple-doubles now, 3rd all-time. What he's doing is just incredible, but the narrative wasn't about the Nuggets. The narrative wasn't about Nikola. The narrative is about the Lakers and their adjustments. So, you put that in your pipe, you smoke it, and you come back, and we're going to go up 2-0.
Do you think that narrative changes tonight?
Well, I don't care if it does. You know what I mean? Because we know our narrative in that locker room. We know that we're not done. We haven't done anything yet. All right, you got to win a game on the other team's home court if you really want to do something in a series. And we know how great that team is, especially on their home court. So we're not celebrating. This is not cause for celebration. This is a cause to continue to dig deep and find ways to be better.
You put that in your pipe and smoke it.
I mean,
I hadn't heard that phrase in forever.
I mean, after game one, they had, because Joker won the game for him in game one.
Right.
The first two questions asked off the court were, how surprised were you that the Lakers did this? Can you believe the Lakers made a run at the end at being down 21? And all Joker could say is, well, they're a good team anyways. But, nothing was brought up to the point of how they did. Now, last night with Murray, they had Murray on.
Yeah.
And it was focused around the Nuggets and Murray and scoring, going on fire in the fourth quarter. So it fit the narrative last night. But he's absolutely correct, which then spins us back to the conversation about the NBA in general. They are praying. They're on their knees. Find a way to get the Lakers to 4 before the Nuggets do. I don't know how we do it. We got to find a way to save the ratings.
Can you imagine if it's a sweep? There's gonna be some fishy officiating in game 3. You can already see it. You can feel it. You ask the question, what are the odds of the Lakers coming back? According to Bovada Casino right now, online sportsbook, 3.5 to 1 odds of them coming back and winning this series. Do you know who's favored to win the Eastern Conference Finals right now? It's still the Boston Celtics. But tonight, all eyes on Boston. In Boston, the Celtics take it on the Miami Heat. All the pressure right now is on the Celtics because the Celtics lost game 1.
Huge pressure.
Let's talk about it. Jimenez and Spence, 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Wemby's on his way, but Coach Pop is expected to return to the Spurs for the upcoming season. No, yet still has no new contract. Jamal Murray went off in the fourth quarter. Nuggets are up now 2-0 over the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. Tonight, Celtics trying to battle back against the Eastern Conference Finals. You can hear the game on ESPN 1250 starting at 7. Rangers Rockies right here, 6:30, 94.1.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
I was in a terrible accident with a commercial vehicle. I had to have surgery on my back. My life was turned upside down and I was completely screwed. Then I called the Force, the Davis law firm. Jeff personally handled my case. After expenses and attorney fees, I received $397,988. It's really true. Jeff was here for me.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you were injured by a car or large truck, call me at my San Antonio office at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. There's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Do you consider yourself a bourbon connoisseur? At Twin Peaks, we're proud to offer an exclusive and extensive collection of some of the most incredibly rare bourbons and whiskeys you're going to find. Also, rare and great tequilas. Plus, go check out the Barrel Selects, which are handpicked by Twin Peaks' team of experts that are bottled just for you.
If you own a small to medium-sized business that kept employees on payroll through COVID, you may have a big cash refund waiting for you. The Employee Retention Credit is a tax credit of up to $26,000 per employee. And now, more businesses than ever qualify. The experts at RefundsPro.com specialize in cutting through the red tape of qualifying for this government program. Most of their refunds are over $100,000. Even businesses that have received PPP funds may be eligible. And there are absolutely no fees unless you receive a refund. So there's no reason not to apply. If your business experienced shutdowns, limited capacity, supply chain challenges, or reduced revenue due to COVID, you likely qualify. RefundsPro.com has already helped hundreds of businesses. So don't lose the refund you're owed by missing the deadline. Get started today with a free 5-minute questionnaire at RefundsPro.com. That's refunds with an S, pro.com.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates. It's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I have a personal stylist, and you can too. My Stitch Fix online stylist really gets me. I share my style, size, and budget, and they do the shopping how I want, when I want. Updating my wardrobe with Stitch Fix is so easy. My stylist sends me the most amazing pieces, unique brands and styles I would have never tried on my own. I keep what I love and send back the rest. No subscription required, no commitment, just my style. Stitch Fix.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-627-3604. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-627-3604. That's 800-627-3604. What do you have to lose? Call 800-627-3604. Again, 800-627-3604.
Hi, Sarah. I'm sorry I'm late. The traffic is crazy.
Yeah, it is. And it doesn't help that gas prices have skyrocketed. I can't believe how much it costs for gas now.
Everyone's talking about how much gas is, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app, and I get cash back for every gallon of gas I buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid real cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yeah, real cash every time I buy gas.
What? That sounds like it could really add up.
I've made around $200 already.
Wow, that's serious extra money. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CAR3 for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CAR3 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus in your first tank. That's code CAR3 for 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill up. Cashback's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
All guests appearing on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star appear on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. It's showtime. It's Jimenez Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Excited, very excited. We get to come back and have a game 2 on our home floor. We get to come back and redeem ourselves. Try to, even the series. So this is always a great feeling. It's always a great day to be able to come out here and play in these games.
That's Marcus Smart of the Boston Celtics saying he's excited for game 2. He better be excited because they were a no-show for game 1 against the Miami Heat. The Heat stole game 1. Jimmy Butler led the way for the Heat. Spence, it's all or nothing right now for the Boston Celtics. They will not win the series if they don't win tonight.
No, they're done. And I don't. It's reminiscent of the Lakers. What would you rather do? Come away with one? So the Heat, in many regards, have already won the road trip. Because all I got to do is get one.
Right.
Now, flip the coin over, and the ultimate pressure is on the Celtics. They have to. It is the most. So let's go back to the original conversation regarding Lakers. Let's put some money on this, baby, because this is a must 1,000% win for the Celtics.
Imagine this series going back to South Beach. Heat up 2-0.
There's no way.
Yeah.
That's the impossible. 4 wins in the next 5 games.
It's next to impossible, especially if you're having to go on the road for the majority of those games. The Lakers having to win 4 out of 5. Well, most of the games remaining are in LA. So, it's a little bit more possible. But going back to the Boston Celtics, I expect them to win this game tonight. I expect them to go out and blow out the Heat. That's what I expect, right? That's what my mind is telling me, but my heart's telling me is this. If the Heat keep it close and are within 5 points down the stretch, and the Boston Celtics have done this all playoffs long, where where they lay an egg at home and the crowd turns on the players. It has happened already. And it's ridiculous that the Celtics find themselves in this position, but it's all about playoff Jimmy. Jimmy Butler has been playing his butt off, and I know that frustrates you, Spence. I know it frustrates you that Jimmy Butler just turns it up to 11, cranks it up to 11
See, but
in the playoffs.
we have this mindset. Well, they're the 8th seed. Oh, well, they shouldn't be able to. And then when they go down this path, oh, what? They were just a tremendous team and blah, blah, blah. Were they really the 8th seed? If they play, it's a league question more than a playoff question.
Yeah.
If they're not the 8th seed in the playoffs, even though literally they played to an 8th seed position, then why are we having this play-in game in the first place? To make sure that no one gets left behind? Why don't we just play the regular season? So put some pressure on the regular season. So if you make it, you're in.
Right.
We're not going to just show up for the playoffs and eke our way in by a play-in sequence just to make sure, well, we slid in and look what we've done in the playoffs. Well, why don't you show it in the regular season?
And they had the 7th best record in the East, so they would have made it under the old rules, but they dropped to 8 because they didn't play so well in the play-in tournament. And they went out there, beat Giannis and the Bucks, go out and beat the Knicks, and now they have the Celtics on the run right now. Let's hear from Marcus Smart again, talking about Jimmy Butler, because Jimmy Butler last game, 35 points on 12 of 25 shooting. He also had 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Marcus Smart, that's his job, to go after Jimmy Butler.
Just to make it as tough as possible. You got to be physical with him. You can't let a guy like Jimmy be too comfortable because he's gonna shoot his shot regardless. So, you just want to be as physical and make it as tough as possible for him. And hanging off of him and allow him to make plays, read the game is not the way to go.
Marcus Smart has a tall task at hand. Coach Mazzulla of the Boston Celtics, took over for Ime Udoka. Did you know that he has a favorite movie that he watches 4 times a week, Spence? 4 times a week. And I'm going to give you a guess of the movie, okay? I heard about this yesterday, and then I read about it to make sure that it was true. It's a movie from 2010 that is in the Boston area.
What?
Coach Mazzulla of the Boston Celtics watches The Town 4 times a week.
And why would you? Good movie. I really thought, as much as Ben Affleck was one of the leading actors of it,
Yeah.
and I think he directed it, if I'm not
He did.
mistaken, he still wasn't the main attraction to that movie. Jeremy Renner, and how about the
Blake Lively.
Oh my gosh!
Now,
show me the one scene where she's in the
bar.
Well, in the bar, or she's in the bedroom, or she's in the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
So it's so much so that Coach Mazzulla was doing the post-game interview after game 1.
Uh-huh.
His sweatshirt said in small letters, "Whose car are we going to take?" From that line about we got to go.
Oh, I know the
crack
line.
some skulls.
We're gonna hurt somebody.
Gonna go hurt somebody.
Don't ask about it later.
Yeah, and apparently it's just his thing is to watch the movie. Says it amps him up and gets him going about the city of Boston. Coach Mazzulla, again, needs to lead the Celtics to a victory tonight, and he's talking about the confidence level of his team.
My confidence never varied from Joe and his coaching staff. He has a unique way, a style of playing. We love it. We just got to go out there and make him look good.
Very nice. Again, the game is tonight.
You tweeted out something I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
This was yesterday. What do you think points per game Wemby averaged in his rookie season?
Mm-hmm.
You said 19 points. Okay. 10 rebounds. Okay. You only think 2.2 blocks in 26 minutes?
The reason is because I think they'll limit his minutes. 26 minutes is barely over 2 quarters. That's me saying that if he played a 36-minute game, that he'd be at 3.5. We were talking earlier today about load management of him. Maybe, just maybe, the load management of Victor Wembanyama is not necessarily gonna be him skipping games. It's gonna be him playing the vast majority of them, but at 24 to 28 minutes per game. Just to get him accustomed to the league, get him accustomed to an 82-game schedule, get him accustomed to the
I
physicality
think
of
this
the
is the
NBA.
low end. If he's gonna be at, and I think we need to talk more about it, but that's why I kind of threw it out there. If he's gonna be at 19 points, then who else is gonna I mean, this team will be underproducing if all he's contributing is 19 points on average. 10 rebounds? Okay, we're in the conversation, but I think he's gonna get more than that, or he's gonna wanna get more than that.
Maybe I'm undershooting it so that I'll be happy about
I
it
think you're
when he
undershooting
exceeds it.
big time.
Yeah.
Okay. I think if he is not mid-20s, give or take, on a regular basis, then what are we doing?
I don't wanna put that pressure so much on him yet, but I do expect him to be rookie of the year, but I don't think you need to average 25 points to do that. It is
I don't think I don't think he's going to. I don't think the expectation of anyone should be a certain number. I think he'll want to do it, so
Right.
that's why he'll be at mid-20s.
I hope so. And right now, if you look at the rookies, I think it's gonna be a battle between Victor Wembanyama and Brandon Miller as to who's gonna be the NBA Rookie of the Year next year. Now, just let you guys know, 2:00 hour, we're giving away a 4-pack of tickets to go see the San Antonio Missions, $2 Tuesday next week against the Amarillo Sod Poodles. It is $2 Tuesday, brought to you by San Antonio Sports Star. Gonna give away those tickets in the 2:00 hour. Now, we've been talking a lot about Wemby because, I mean, we're still basking in the glory of Tuesday night. I still can't believe it. I was talking to my dad last night, and my dad was like, "Mijo," I was watching it. He's out of town right now. He's at the casinos in Lake Charles. He was like, "Mijo, I was watching the news and watching Sports Center, and that bar in San Antonio that erupted with all the Spurs fans jumping up and down." And I was like, "Dad, I was there. I was at the Rue Pub. That's the one that went viral. That's the one that you see on Sports Center of everybody celebrating. We were there. Spence, you and I were there. We were right next to each other."
One of those videos I put up
Yeah.
went viral. Yes, absolutely. Ken's 5 went viral.
Yeah. Very, very cool. We all know the Spurs aren't going to trade Victor Wembanyama, but Bleacher Report, good old Bleacher Report, tried to create an insane 4-team trade for the Spurs to consider. Would you consider trading Victor Wembanyama for what the Bleacher Report says the team could get for him? Also, when we come back, got a massive flip-flop coming. Massive.
Well, shocker.
I will admit that this is a flip-flop. Jimenez and Spence, 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe, today at 3.
Former San Antonio Spur and NBA champ Danny Green will join us on The Blitz at 4:30, talking NBA playoffs and Wemby. We'll talk Cowboys with John Machota from The Athletic at 5:30. The Blitz starts at 3.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe, today at 3 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Chris Canepa with Connecticut. Connecticut. Pure coincidence, but kind of cool, don't you think? I get hit with quirky quandaries and questionable catastrophes dealing with hard water calamities all the time. But I feel like King Canepa of Connecticut when I read the kind reviews from the Connecticut clients that love their Connecticut water system and no longer live in hard water calamity. The facts are, if you want to keep your appliances kicking and your kitchen clean and your skin kissable and your hair caressable and your entire home protected from crazy hard water crud, call me, Chris Canepa of Connecticut. For this month, you can save a caboodle of cash. We're closing out all of our current Connecticut models to make room for the new models, which means now is the absolute best time to save money on a Connecticut home water softener for your home. Schedule your free, no-obligation water analysis at 656 Pure or online at ConnecticutSA.com. Connecticut, 656 Pure.
The last water softener you'll ever own. ConnecticutSA.com.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing. But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
When you're drinking a frozen beverage from McDonald's, your brain may not like how refreshingly cold it is, but the rest of your body, oh yes, it's gonna relish every moment of it, because there are drinks. Then there are drinks from McDonald's.
There's no better way to cool down than with this cool deal. Get a medium frozen Coke, frozen Dr. Pepper, or frozen Fanta for just $1.79. Prices at participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hi, Jason Minix here for Noble Gold and their website, noblegoldinvestments.com. If you've been thinking of how to secure the value of your assets and grow your wealth, you need to think gold. After the latest bank failures and other economic news that could devalue the dollar, gold is a safe investment to secure your wealth. If you're not sure what to do, that's not a problem. Go to the website, noblegoldinvestments.com. At Noble Gold, they will walk you through everything. They'll even email you their gold and silver investors guide. Go look at what the price of gold was in 1970 up until today. Go and look at what the price of gold was 10, 15 years ago. A lot of people wish they would have bought back then, either in physical gold or an IRA. Don't wish you did this down the road. Go to the website today, noblegoldinvestments.com. Use promo code STAR for a free 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin they're offering people that qualify. Mark it down to due today. noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem, and it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
This Saturday at Dive Bar, 6422 Babcock. It's Tejano Saturday, featuring live music with Los Chicanos starting at 6. Enjoy $4 Tito's, $5 Jameson, $3 Bud Light, and $4 Domestics. Plus, the kitchen's open till midnight. Dive Bar, a free rides venue.
After 21 years of gun shows in Live Oak, this is the final weekend at the Hilton Garden Inn on Pat Booker in Live Oak. Texas gun shows featuring guns, knives, military collectibles, ammunition, and much more. Now through Sunday at the Hilton Garden Inn on Pat Booker Road in Live Oak.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson, and this is 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
We're giving away some tickets, right?
Yes.
Well, I found a way to give them away in the 2 o'clock hour.
Mm-hmm.
So for the last 2 hours, I've been dealing with Sick Boy here.
I'm going to be crawling into my bed after this show. You like that, Spence? You like that pledge?
There is enough medicine, honey. We've now brought out the wipes.
The Lysol, 99.99%.
No one's going to be sitting in that microphone, but if Joe was here, he'd say thank you for cleaning up the mess before he comes in here. He's on vacation. But I'm probably going to be sick next week because of just what every indication is that you're spewing germs here my way. So here's how we're going to give away these tickets. because everything that you choreograph as a sickness, you always say it's what?
Allergies.
Allergies.
It's just
So-
allergy, Spence.
So that is the word in the 2:00 hour. You hear the word allergies, not allergy, allergies, in the plural of allergy. You hear that word, be the first caller, and you win the tickets.
Now, does that come from me or from you?
It comes from me. And I want to use it in a very blatant way, but we're not going to stop down. So, well, there's the cue to call.
Right.
So
You're good.
Allergen won't work.
Allergen will not work.
Okay.
But allergies will, and it has to come from me.
With an IES is what we're saying here.
Yes.
So if me or Jimenez say allergies over the next hour, doesn't count.
It does not count.
Okay.
It has to come from me. I could say the allergens in this room have set up Jimenez to have an allergy, and it still would not constitute a call in to win the tickets.
Because it needs to be pluralized.
Allergies is the word you need to listen for in the 2:00 hour. And I'll even make it easy for you between 2 and 2:30.
I dig it. I dig it. Let me ask you this question. This hour, because we're up against a break in a few minutes.
Another allergies issue?
Yes.
He's
Well,
suffering from Wimby fever.
We call
By the way, we're not to 2:00 yet.
I like it.
So
I like
between
it.
2 and 2:30.
Okay.
So I can say
I like
allergies
it.
all I want.
I'm suffering from Wimby fever. I like that. I like that. My weekend begins in an hour and 4 minutes. But that being said,
There's a show meeting
we have
afterwards.
we have
you,
a
you always forget about the show meeting.
oh no.
Don't forget
No.
about the
If,
show
if,
meeting.
if I stick the landing, there's no there's no show meeting.
Okay. All right, fine.
If it feels like a good show,
Because
we don't need it.
Because you call your shots anyways.
We
So
don't
go
we
ahead.
don't need to have it. It's just is what it is.
I gotta leave early.
So this hour, I say this hour, the next 4 minutes, we can either go over my flip flop, or we can talk about that trade that the Bleacher Report is saying the Spurs should consider for Victor Wembanyama. Which one do you want to do first?
The trade or your flip flop. The flip flop is easier. Let's save the trade because I think it's a great conversation for 2:00.
Okay, so the flip flop, and I want to thank everybody on YouTube live right now. Again, subscribe to San Antonio Sports Star. Saying here comes the flip flop. Of course he's gonna flip flop, is what David says on our YouTube stream. Now, grade this between a big flip flop or a small one or none at all. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
Anytime you reference flip flop, it's usually very big. I would say this probably is the smaller of your usual flip flops, but
Okay.
enlighten us.
So I spent so much time talking about how I don't want the Spurs to not play at the AT&T Center. I want them to play all 41 games there. How dare they play a couple of games in Austin? Then I went to the games in Austin and I was like, okay, I understand what they're trying to do. Fine, have a couple of games. And I was okay with the Spurs having a game in either Mexico City or Monterrey. But now, because of Victor Wembanyama coming to the San Antonio Spurs, wouldn't it not be appropriate to make him happy to possibly play 2 regular season games in Paris?
I think it's a small flip flop because if you're thinking that's not going to happen, it's probably already being discussed.
I would hope so.
There's some international game being discussed in some form or fashion, whether it's 1, 2, who knows. If you also think that the team and the league are not talking about expanding their season more than just 2 games in Austin this upcoming season, you're sadly mistaken. There's going to be a marqueeism that's going to take Wemby and the Spurs to a whole new level, which just hasn't been unveiled yet. Now, no guarantee anything's going to happen, but trust me, someone in New York is discussing this at the highest level.
Now, Bear County Commissioner's Court would have to have something to say about that because the lease with the AT&T Center says that the Spurs can only play X number of games outside of the AT&T. Keep in mind, the Spurs had 2 games over in Austin this past year.
Do you really think
we had one game?
Do you really put the foot down? No, you can't. I know it's for the betterment of the franchise, and the NBA wants this, and the NBA. It's semantics, man.
Well, I mean, there is a rule though, so there is a hurdle when it comes to that, and it's whether or not Bear County Commissioner's Court would relent on that. Because again, 2 games in Austin, there was 1 game at the Alamo Dome. plans to play in Mexico again over there. Playing a couple of games in Paris, I think would do a couple of things. It would expand the footprint because, as Victor Wembanyama pointed out, because of Tony Parker, because of Boris Diaw, the San Antonio Spurs are the most popular NBA team in France because of those two guys. And now Wemby coming over, oh my, it's just something that is unique, and it expands the footprint even more. But on top of that, it makes Wemby potentially happy to say, hey, he can play an NBA game in front of his countrymen, in front of his own people. And I think that would go a long way into establishing a long-lasting relationship with Victor Wembanyama.
I could not agree more.
So, Nelson Wolf, you're listening. Make this so. Make this so, because that has to go through Bexar County Commissioner's Court. We have another hour here on Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. When we come back, we're going to talk about that trade proposal that the Bleacher Report has for the Spurs giving up Victor Wembanyama. Okay, I know it's never going to happen.
You don't know?
But the idea...
How do you know?
But the idea perked up Pledger's ears really high. He was like, really? Let's talk about it. Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville, and always at ESPNSA.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
We have a new leader at the PGA Championship second round going on right now. Scotty Scheffler is 5 under through 5. One of the live golfers, Bryson DeChambeau, right now is 4 under. He just teed off his first hole. Coach Pop is expected to return to the Spurs for the upcoming season, but has yet to sign a new contract. And tonight, we've got the Heat and the Celtics in Game 2. You can hear that game on ESPN 1250 starting at 7 o'clock.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Mike Jimenez.
The San Antonio Spurs are the world champions.
Tim Spence.
Victory! Cowboys win!
It's showtime. It's Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 3 of Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We're on the go at ESPNSA.com. We're streaming live on YouTube. Apparently, it's not Nelson Wolf that has to get this job done, because Nelson Wolf did not seek re-election in 2022. So we have a new county judge, apparently, did not know. Thank you for the fact check, James Pledger. Nelson Wolf has been around forever. I assumed that he'd be there until age 90, much like Greg Popovich will be the Spurs head coach until age 90.
That's a good one.
We have a lot to get into in this hour. We have a ticket giveaway, a 4-pack of tickets to go see the San Antonio Missions play the Amarillo Sod Poodles next Tuesday. It is $2 Tuesday over at the Wolf. Speaking of Nelson Wolf, at the Wolf. And it is sponsored by San Antonio Sports Star. Again, it's a 4-pack of tickets along with a parking pass. And Spence has a game for this. There's a secret word, a plural word that needs to be used. And when you hear that word, you're going to call into our station at 656 ESPN, 656-3776. Is it the first person who calls?
First person who calls with the right word.
Right.
Okay. You have to know, if you heard it last hour, you'll know. But I got to ask you, because it's really, kind of associated with this. Do you having some allergy issues?
Yes, that's the issue. I have COVID. I don't know what I've got. All I know is that I feel fine right now. This morning I was awful, but
so some allergens are in the building. So you're going to get me sick with some allergies.
Exactly. So when you hear the plural to the word allergy, that's the time to call in. So allergen does not work. Allergy does not work. But if you hear the plural
can
of that
you
word,
give it the word? I mean, can you just give it? I mean, why did I tease it last hour when you're sitting there hand delivering the word to these people?
Yeah. Just come out and say the word allergies.
Why don't you just go ahead and say?
Oh, what? Well, no, Spence has to say it.
Exactly.
Spence
Why do you think I did that?
I'm allergic.
I'm trying to egg you on to say it because you want to say it, but it has to come from me.
I'm allergic to suspense. And sometimes I'm allergic to Spence. Go until 3 o'clock. Kiss myself.
Tip your waitresses, everybody. 3 drink minimum.
And I think we see Willis coming out. There he comes right now. 6'10" from Grambling. The captain.
I didn't know he went to Grambling.
5'7" from UTSA, from Texas State. Michael Jimenez coming in because I have no sick days here at Alpha Media, doing what I do. But let's talk about Victor Wembanyama. It's funny because, oh, by the way, before we get into Wemby, winning tickets and whatnot, I noticed this yesterday that there's a delay. I know we're on 7-second delay or something like that.
Not 7 seconds.
What is it?
Considering your show.
Okay, it's a 10-second delay.
It can be 10 to 20. It could be, especially afternoon drive, it could be 5 minutes.
I'm gonna give people a tip, if you will, on winning tickets here at San Antonio Sports Star. Subscribe to our YouTube because that seems to be a little bit ahead of on air. I noticed that yesterday when I bailed out of here at 2:30.
So you're driving and listening on the radio, and you're watching on your phone at the same time while you're driving.
Yes.
How does that work?
No, it's easy. I do that same thing. I'll just pull up YouTube. My phone connects to my car. The car's playing the audio. I just set the phone down as if it's the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And so how do you keep your eyes on the road and watch TV at the same time?
You're not watching
I
it.
digress. How would you know that
How would I know? Is because I wanted to turn it off for a second to just play the actual radio. And when I did that, I noticed that it started playing what I had just heard 5 or 6 seconds before.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing.
So YouTube gets to have my hot
Highway
take
Patrol's
first.
listening. They want to talk to you after the show.
Your YouTube's faster than mine.
It's a hands-free state. You know that, right?
Yes, and right now, I am now going downhill health-wise, but I will power through until 2:54:35.
I think we see Willis coming out. There he comes right
MVP.
now.
There he comes.
From Grambling. The captain of the Knicks, the most valuable
This
player
is
of the NBA.
my MJ flu game. This is what this is.
And I feel a little post-nasal drip happening. So if you get me sick, as you can hear yourself coughing in the background, if you get me sick, there will be post-show meetings till the end of time, just to make your life hell.
It's funny because I remember one time you wanted to have post shows when we first started.
What do you mean I wanted to have? We had post shows.
Yeah, we did.
Until you stopped showing up.
Yeah, I did stop showing up because one time you said to me, that was a good show. And I said, yeah, I know, I was there. So
that's the attitude. That's the attitude that got you that plaque right next to you. Okay.
Yes.
The attitude of, you don't have to tell me we had a good show. I already know we had a good show. I'll see you next year at the awards banquet.
In Austin, Texas. Okay, so
don't forget to swing by and pick him up on the way.
He never even offered. I begged him. I don't know where I'm going. I've never been to Austin.
Yeah.
I begged him.
Don't you know?
Well, I'm in my front seat and I got my arm around my honey and we're going to be snuggling all the way up there. Okay, great. There's a back seat to your car, is there not? There is. I will put headphones on. I put a you want to start snuggling and get a little crazy because it sounds like you do more than just drive in the front seat when you drive your car. I would have put a mask on just to cover my eyes.
Hand on knee, hand on thigh. That's a sign of a good marriage right there.
I understand, considering you listen to the radio, you watch TV, and you're handsy with your wife while you're driving. I am surprised you haven't had an accident more than a few times.
Who's to say that it's not her hand on the knee or thigh? Maybe it's on mine. You never know. Happy marriage.
I have a good idea.
Okay, we got to get into that wacky trade proposal from the Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report coming out saying, we know it's not going to happen. And don't worry, people are all over the YouTube stream saying that they fear the Spurs will just, do like the movie Draft Day, Kevin Costner going and picking somebody else instead. I want Vontae Mack instead of Bo Callahan. No, they're not going to do that. It's going to be Victor Wembanyama.
We know that. But
yes, Bleacher Report was saying, let's come up with a trade scenario that might be a win-win-win for multiple teams. So it would have the Spurs giving up Victor Wembanyama and Keldon Johnson and Doug McDermott to the Philadelphia 76ers. The Sixers would also receive Jalen Green from the Houston Rockets and a 2025 second round draft pick, or first round draft pick rather, and a second rounder. So again, that is Wembanyama, Keldon, McDermott, Jalen Green, first rounder, second rounder going to the Philadelphia 76ers. The Washington Wizards are part of this deal. They would get Tobias Harris, Devontae Graham, Zach Collins from the Spurs, Daishen Nix, and a 2025 first-round draft pick from the Spurs. The Rockets would receive James Harden, Khem Birch, and Johnny Davis, who's a very good. He's a promising young player. So I count the number of people that the Spurs would get rid of here. That is a first-round draft pick along with Wembanyama, Keldon Johnson, Doug McDermott, Zach Collins, Devontae Graham, my goodness, and Khem Birch. So basically, the Spurs would get rid of like 7 players in a draft pick. But in return, the Spurs would get 2 stars. Joel Embiid, the MVP, along with Bradley Beal and a draft pick.
Let's just go Embiid because MVP.
Right.
You don't have to ramp him up. You don't have to do 1 or 2 years of, hey, we're getting there, and it's a work in progress. No one said we're going to the finals first year, but we're getting the MVP. And you could even sit there and say he's been the MVP candidate for the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, you'd have a starting lineup of down low Embiid with Jeremy Sohan. You'd have Charles Bassey, Devin Vassell, and maybe bring back Trey Jones. And that would be the starting lineup.
Now let's.
Oh, and Bradley Beal, rather. Bradley Beal would be the starting point guard.
But let's be real here. No one's going to go down that path after what just took place. But you could sell some of the passionate audience that concept if it took place, could you not?
Yes and no. It would sell because do I think that team would win more games in year 1? Actually, I do. I think a Bradley Beal, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, Joel Embiid, and Charles Bassey lineup would actually do very well. But it wouldn't come with a fanfare. And sometimes you want to know what's behind door number 3. And
to your point, that's why it won't. It would never happen.
Right.
Because of the downside. The downside being, let's just say someone went down that conversation path and it made it happen. And we're winning first year, second year. But Wemby is a 3 to 5 year deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 5 to 7 year deal. And eventually the clock's going to come and catch up to the Spurs in that conversation. They're going to eventually get bit by the so-called bug on the back end that you're getting bit on when you pass up on the generational type player that's there for hopefully a long period of time.
That's the word right there, generational. And you don't ever give up anything like that. I just thought it was an interesting article that Pledger pulled out and said, hey, look at this.
The guy you can't recognize if he walks down the hallway. You'd recognize him because he'd be at an unemployment line looking for a job.
Most definitely. Again, the Spurs, I don't know if you know this. We talked about this earlier in the 1 o'clock hour that when the Spurs were basically when the ping pong balls were going and they were down to the final ball, there were only 11 combinations possible to win. The Spurs had one of those combinations. Number 2 came out, and that was the Spurs number. The Washington Wizards had 6 of the 11 remaining. And then there are reports also that when they redid the lottery to see who would draft number 2, the Spurs came up again. So they had to disregard it. And then they had to redo it again. And the Spurs came up again. Very reminiscent of when the Spurs got Tim Duncan because they kept winning. And they had to keep doing combinations over again just so that another team would come in second, third, and fourth. Very reminiscent, but that shows, like Victor Wembanyama said, that they are destined to be here, that he is destined to be part of San Antonio. Let's talk a little bit more about Wemby on the other side, load management when it comes to Greg Popovich. And also, I'm looking for a restaurant out there to make a Wemby taco and actually come up with a good name for it. We have here in San Antonio, come up with a good name, and you know what? Maybe I'll go treat Spence to some lunch over there.
Maybe. Maybe you'll treat me to lunch. Huh. How about we pay off the bets? That's right. And then come back and say, maybe you'll treat me.
I'm down one bet, and if I do make Spence sick, I told him I would pay him 2 more. But you'd have to prove to me that you're sick.
Oh, I'll prove to you.
Not good. Not
if
not
I'm sick,
sniffle,
I
sniffle.
will call your house. Okay.
No,
I
you
will-
got to have your wife call.
Yeah. Even from Denver.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Let's talk pop. Let's talk load management.
Talk allergens too.
Yeah.
I have an allergy, and sometimes it's Jimenez. We'll talk about that next.
Jimenez and Spence.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
I was in a terrible car accident. I suffered a traumatic brain injury and also injured my spine. My daughter-in-law called Jeff Davis. After expenses and attorney fees, I received $86,559. I want everyone in San Antonio to know Jeff was here for me.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you were injured by a car or large truck, call me at my San Antonio office at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. There's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
This is Chris Knippa with Connecticut. Connecticut, pure coincidence, but kind of cool, don't you think? I get hit with quirky quandaries and questionable catastrophes dealing with hard water calamities all the time. But I feel like King Knippa of Connecticut when I read the kind reviews from the Connecticut clients that love their Connecticut water system and no longer live in hard water calamity. Facts are, if you want to keep your appliances kicking and your kitchen clean and your skin kissable and your hair caressable and your entire home protected from crazy hard water crud, call me, Chris Knippa of Connecticut. For this month, you can save a caboodle of cash. We're closing out all of our current Connecticut models to make room for the new models, which means now is the absolute best time to save money on a Connecticut home water softener for your home. Schedule your free, no-obligation water analysis at 656 Pure or online at ConnecticutSA.com. Connecticut, 656 Pure.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Connecticut. SA.com.
Cowboys play here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Tim Spence with the pump fake in the last segment. Pledge telling me that the phone lines lit up because they thought you had said the magic word.
What word is that?
The plural to the word allergy. Because again,
What, you can't say allergies?
I can say allergies, but if Spence does, you can win tickets. That's
I
your
have
cue.
not said that word
First, not yet. First person to hear Spence say the word allergies calls in Kielbasa
I
Smoke Meats
said
phone line 656
allergen.
ESPN. Yes.
Allergy. I did not say the other word.
The other word, right. But when you do, first person to call into Kielbasa Smoke Meats phone line 656
It's coming up between now and 2:30.
What about allergic?
No, that's not it.
And
656
it's coming up in the next 11 minutes.
Wow. So you're giving yourself a time frame.
No,
here.
I said between 2 and 2:30, 11 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Very, very cool. So we've been talking a lot about Victor Wembanyama Tuesday night. Glorious being out there at the Roo Pub and partying with a bunch of Spurs fans who we just could not believe it.
Yeah, I've seen some things in my life, my radio career. I have been to many and a special event, college football's national championship, more Super Bowls than I can count. Not just Radio Row, but Super Bowl games, locker rooms, the whole deal. Stanley Cup Finals. One of these days, I'll tell you a great Stanley Cup Final story with Peter Forsberg. But another time, another place. That right there, though, was the most emotional, passionate event. Now, in a short window of time, we're not talking, a 4 or a quarter or a 3 period or, a one night experience like Super Bowl you're walking up to, it's going to be good and bam, it is. You're looking at a 1 hour window of time between 7 and 8 o'clock. The hype walking into it, and then between 7:30 and 8, just the power of passion and emotion right there. I'll never forget it.
And I remember looking over at you and you just stood there stunned. And you just said, "This is so bleeping cool. This is so bleeping cool."
It's just, I don't know how anyone could not have been. I mean, and I was making light of it yesterday and the other day, and I was just trying to make have some fun with it. But those people that are as passionate for the Spurs in the city as you are, why wouldn't you have a tear in your eye?
Right. We had people reach out and to us on Twitter. And by the way, I'm at Mike ESPN SA. Spence is at Spence ESPN SA. And they reached out and said that they were super excited, not only by the fact that we got Wemby, but they enjoyed the fact that San Antonio Sports Star was all together. And you could see Rob Thompson, with his video from different angles of his reaction and him just basically saying, "Oh my God, oh my God."
Dude.
And seeing Ryan Nagel and seeing Minix and Rudy J and you and me and most of the group out there.
There were fans, there were listeners to this radio station. For all the, come on out, Roo Pub, have an open tab, get it taken care of, and it's a party. But then you sit there and look back and you go, wow, that was one of those moments that pinched me. It was just, there were so many great things that happened in this short window of time.
So very cool, man. So very cool to be a part of. And I never thought that I would experience something like that again, because we had already experienced it. When I was 10 years old, the Spurs won the lottery to get David Robinson. When I was 20 years old, the Spurs won the lottery to get Tim Duncan. And I remember telling my wife, love my wife, Selena. She is amazing. And in 2014, I remember asking her if I could spend extra money on Spurs tickets for the NBA Finals. And I said, "Babe," I really want to go to these finals because we never know when they'll ever be in the finals again. That's the way that I phrased it. I remember this conversation. And she looked at me and was like, now my wife is not a sports fan, but she'll go to games, but she's not a fan. She'll cheer, but doesn't know what's going on. And she looked at me and she goes, "That's just dumb." She goes,
What are you thinking?
What do you mean? And from the outside looking in, from a non-Spurs fan, seeing that the Spurs had made 6 NBA finals over a 15-year period and won 5 of them, 99, 03, 05, 07, and 2014. It was like commonplace. It was almost like our right our God-given right to be there, along with the Lakers, along with the Celtics, right? And those are the 3 most successful franchises of all time. Same could be said about the Golden State Warriors, those 4 teams. And you look at what goes on in the NFL with the Dallas Cowboys. It has been a long time since January 1996. And I told my wife, I said, championships don't come around very often. Being relevant in a sports league doesn't happen all the time. There are Cowboy fans right now who are 26, 27 years old and younger who don't know what it's like to have a Super Bowl title for their favorite football team. And there are some who are 31, 32, 33 years old who were alive when it last happened who don't remember it happening because they were so young. The fact that the Spurs are considered to be a front runner all over again, maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but maybe 3 years from now, 4 years from now, to being a championship contender because of the cap space, because of the draft capital, and because we got the main entree. We got the superstar in Victor Wembanyama. Is so remarkable as a sports fan. And this is our only major professional franchise here in San Antonio. We should all be fortunate, feel lucky. And we've won it 3 times. The city of Charlotte, who came in second in this draft, has been second 3 times.
Do you think, because I guess it was Wednesday, and I saw that the NHL team in Phoenix, and all of a sudden just blew it on my brain.
The Coyotes?
Coyotes. They're having stadium issues. Okay. And who's to say they move, whatever. And I know this is not a big hockey town, but you think of the Wemby aspect. Okay. You think of new arena. You think of Spurs management. Is this the platform, the opportunity to look at for bigger things for the community, and another franchise moves to town as part of this growth factor?
I'm so glad that you brought that up because I actually was debating having this conversation with you guys on Monday. This is something that city leaders need to understand, that lightning struck in a bottle 3 times, but this one's different. This one's different because this one's international. I know Tim Duncan was from the Virgin Islands, but that is still U.S. territory. But still, this is going to from Paris. This is all eyes internationally are on San Antonio. If San Antonio was to ever be in the running for an NFL franchise, Major League Baseball, we need to start acting like we're big boy players in the sports world. That means state-of-the-art stadium. That means doing something to bring people over. I don't want to hear about the Alamodome. The Alamodome celebrated its 30th birthday the other day. It's a dinosaur. Is it 30, 40 years? I don't know how long it's been. It's a dinosaur.
My point with the hockey is you can have NBA and hockey at the same arena.
Right.
It's commonplace. Okay.
I don't know if there's an appetite for ice hockey in San Antonio, even at the professional level. The appetite's for football because NFL football, it's only 8 or 9 games in the season.
It's a little different with the NFL. You'd have to have a new airport. You'd have to, expand many other aspects of the community to a level that would be able to expect something from you'd have to almost have a new stadium on top of it.
No, you'd have to have a new stadium, but this is where city leaders, this is where the city of San Antonio should demand things from the city if we are sports fans. And hopefully maybe 2 years, 4 years from now, we might be able to have some sports betting on top of it all, because that's even more money that can come into the state. Dan Patrick not allowing this to go to the voters is a damn shame, because our elected representatives want it at a 70% clip. And for that man to say that it can't go to the voters, I question why. Another 30 minutes of Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
I feel like Mike now. My allergies are catching up to me. Jamal Murray, going off. Went off last night in the fourth quarter, and the Denver Nuggets have a 2-0 lead over the LA Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. Tonight, Celtics try and battle back against the Heat, Eastern Conference. You can hear the game on ESPN 1250 starting at 7. The Rangers, they play the Rockies right here, 6:30, 94.1.
It's time to play Stump the Experts, where today we'll try to stump Derek and Carlos, personal injury lawyers at Hilly and Solis, otherwise known as the Rexperts.
Hi, Harry. Fire away.
Carlos, how long after an accident do you have to file a personal injury lawsuit?
Well, Harry, there's a 2-year statute of limitations on filing.
Correcto, Rexpert man. Now, Derek, if a company goes bankrupt, can you still win and collect a big settlement?
You definitely can if the company had insurance.
Hey guys, one more question. How do you like my new baby blue suit with matching shoes and belt?
Honestly, that should be illegal.
Hurt in a wreck? You need to call the Rexperts at Hilly and Solis Law. Millions in settlements and no BS. The Rexperts are former prosecutors who are comfortable in the courtroom, and the Rexperts don't get paid unless your settlement is secured. See if your crash could turn into cash with the Rexperts, your accident injury lawsuit experts.
Experts are the way to go. Call 446-5000.
Call 1-877-RECT.
Isn't it nice to get exactly what you want? Introducing the new My Plan from Verizon. Control what goes into your phone plan and what stays out of it. And now, get the amazing iPhone 14 Pro on us when you switch with Select Trade-In and Unlimited Plus. Get iPhone 14 Pro with My Plan at your Verizon store today. It's your Verizon. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line required. $200 Verizon e-gift card sent within 8 weeks with core date. Less up to $800 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions and additional terms apply.
Dr. Rick here. If you find yourself getting particular about where you get the weather, you may be turning into your parents.
Looks like it might rain. Let's see what Corey from Channel 2 has to say. He's something else. I like him better than Harris from Channel 5.
You could just look up the weather on your phone.
I like Corey from Channel 2.
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
When you have trouble sleeping, it's tough. When kids have trouble sleeping,
Mom, I can't sleep. Dad, just one more story?
for nights like this, try Vicks Pure Z's Kids. Our great tasting gummies are specially formulated for kids with a unique blend of botanicals and a low dose of melatonin to support their natural sleep cycle. Best of all, they're drug-free and non-habit forming. Help your child fall asleep naturally with Pure Z's Kids Gummies. Consult with a doctor before use. For ages 4 and up.
Shiny and strong and healthy and hydrated. Your hair can do it all. So get to Ulta Beauty's gorgeous hair event happening now to see how you can take your hair to a whole new level. Discover beauty steals of 50% off must-haves from brands like Way and It's a 10. And explore exciting new arrivals from Lola V and Olaplex. These deals won't last long. So hurry. This event ends June 3rd. Shop in-store, online, or pick up today. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful.
It's showtime! It's Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The allergies.
Did anybody win those tickets, Pledge?
Oh, yeah. Line's lit up.
Oh, really? You know, I like the fact that Spence has unique ways of giving away these tickets because, you know, he's like the puppet master, you know, and all the listeners are there, you know,
if it wasn't
flailing their arms
if it
and
wasn't
legs.
for your allergies getting me sick, one lucky winner would not be going to see the missions.
True. Now, that's something that we should do, by the way, as a San Antonio Sports Star family. What we should do is go out to the missions game at the Wolf.
You got the hookup.
To go check it out. Yeah, Jeremy Sneed is the PR director. So we have, you know, media passes there. You know, I'm kind of surprised that none of us have thrown out the first pitch over there. I'm thinking Rob Thompson. I mean, Rudy J. Who wouldn't want to see Rudy J throw out a first pitch at the game over there? Joe Reinagle. That's a big name right there. Why have they not called us for a first pitch?
Forget those two shows. Why aren't they calling for the Jimenez and Spence combination?
Ooh.
You'll throw, I'll catch.
Well, you know what we can do is instead of a pitch, if they're going to call both of us, I would want it to be like a 4-6-3 double play. Can we do that instead? No, we'll have to do it from the mound.
Is that because you can't pitch?
Is that because I can't pitch? I throw better sidearm from short to first than I do.
You'd have to bring
from the
a
pitcher's
tennis
mound.
racket out to hit.
He's afraid of embarrassing himself.
He'd have to throw a tennis racket into the conversation to get up to 100. But hey, anything's possible.
Now I want to see Ryan Angle or Rudy J out there. That would be cool. That would be cool. But as a San Antonio Sports Star family,
Ryan Angle
to go out there and do that would
Ryan
be
Angle
cool.
would wear his Cardinals jersey.
Ooh.
He's a Cardinals fan. Okay, they are a Padres affiliate. So if he's going to go out there, and I'm fine, Joe, when you come back on vacation, great. But leave the Cardinals garb. And you know how much I hate the Cardinals. Okay. Leave the Cardinals at home.
You know what? That's a poll right there, by the way.
To wear his Cardinals uniform or not?
No. Which San Antonio Sports Star member deserves to throw a first pitch?
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's interesting. I'd be voting against us. But still, they're going to have that event. I believe it's June 10th, which is to benefit the South Texas Down Syndrome Association. I would love to go to that.
Maybe that's the night you throw it out.
Well, I'm not.
I could be there, taking pictures of you. Post it. Pull a Jimenez without being Jimenez.
Without being Jimenez. Interesting. We've talked about a lot today. We've talked a lot about what's going on with Victor Wembanyama. We do have breaking news coming to San Antonio Sports Star. One of the greatest professional and college football players of all time has passed away, Jim Brown, dead at the age of 87.
That is a sad, sad announcement.
ESPN's reporting this right now. Jim Brown is somebody, when it comes to like NFL, I sometimes talk a little bit of trash about the olden days, right? It's like I look at it from the scope of when I started watching football. For me, the first running back that I ever followed was Walter Payton, and then went in from Walter Payton to Eric Dickerson to Emmitt Smith and Thurman Thomas, and goes all the way to Barry Sanders and so on and so forth. So to me, because of my age, that's kind of what I focused on. But I don't have that scope of history. I know the names from before, from Franco Harris to a lot of the running backs from back in the day. But one thing that I always knew for sure is that every running back that you would ever meet talking about certain players, they would always go back to Jim Brown. And Jim Brown was the legend of the legendary players that I followed.
He was selected to the NFL 100 all-time team and also ranked as the #1 all-time player of the college football 150 list to celebrate those sports anniversaries. He was named the greatest football player ever by the Sporting News in 2002.
Jim Brown is also one of the first to do the transition into the entertainment world as well.
Okay, what movie? Without looking, what movie? Great guy movie.
Was he in The Longest Yard?
The Dirty Dozen.
The Dirty Dozen. Okay. Jim Brown, known for his play with the Cleveland Browns. He played from 1957 to 1965, had 12,312 yards rushing, also had 108 touchdowns. Filmography, I mean, he was in his first film in 1964 while he was still a player. He was in a movie called Rio Conchos.
Dude, and you got to give him, I mean, the social aspect of his approach towards life is as impactful as anything compared to what he did on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Think of what, back in the day, his battles with Art Modell, the owner of the Browns.
Yeah.
Modell threatens to suspend Brown's pay if he doesn't report to training camp on time. It is really the quintessential slavery at its finest. Old man Modell trying to tell a black man what to do.
And that was the genesis, if you will, of the battles that you see today.
Yes, till today. Yes.
And
you could carry that over to baseball too. Kurt Flood.
Right.
With the Cardinals.
And it's sad when you see, these all-time greats that pass away. It always is. I mean, he lived a long life. So
He deserves a lot of credit though.
Yes, he was 87 years old, passed away in Los Angeles, California.
What college did you go to? Don't look.
I knew because I looked, by the way, but it was also Orange. He went to Syracuse. I remember that whole Orange connection, but he was an NFL champion in 1964, three-time MVP back in 57, 58, and 65. He was the NFL Rookie of the Year in 1987, All-Pro 8 times, second-team All-Pro 1 time, 9-time Pro Bowler, was a rushing leader for the NFL 8 seasons, 5-time NFL rushing touchdown leader. He was a scoring leader in 58, the 1960s All-Decade Team, and he made the NFL's 50th anniversary, 75th anniversary, and 100th anniversary all-time teams. Jim Brown has passed away at the age of 87. When we come back, we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs, which continue tonight. You have the Heat taking on the Celtics, and also those Lakers, man. They in trouble. Jimenez and Spence, 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe, today at 3.
Former San Antonio Spur and NBA champ Danny Green will join us on The Blitz at 4:30, talking NBA playoffs and Wemby. We'll talk Cowboys with John Machota from The Athletic at 5:30. The Blitz starts at 3.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe, today at 3 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Chris Knippa with Connecticut. Connecticut, pure coincidence, but kind of cool, don't you think? I get hit with quirky quandaries and questionable catastrophes dealing with hard water calamities all the time. But I feel like King Knippa of Connecticut when I read the kind reviews from Connecticut clients that love their Connecticut water system and no longer live in hard water calamity. Facts are, if you want to keep your appliances kicking and your kitchen clean and your skin kissable and your hair caressable and your entire home protected from crazy hard water crud, call me, Chris Knippa of Connecticut. For this month, you can save a caboodle of cash. We're closing out all of our current Connecticut models to make room for the new models, which means now is the absolute best time to save money on a Connecticut home water softener for your home. Schedule your free, no-obligation water analysis at 656 Pure or online at ConnecticutSA.com. Connecticut, 656 Pure.
The last water softener you'll ever own. ConnecticutSA.com.
Right now, I'm driving to work, but that's not where I'm going. I'm going to more important things. I'm going to visit Papa. I'm going to go out with friends and to an anniversary dinner. And I look out at the big trucks and buses and people walking and think, we're all going somewhere. And we need to work together to share the road and get there safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
Paid for by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration.
When they're investigating, we can't stop watching. This month on BritBox, sit back, relax, and enjoy watching the detectives. Discover Britain's most bingeable mysteries, including the brand new season of Grace, the hit series based on the books by best-selling author Peter James. Unwind with the detectives you could watch all night long. Stream them all now exclusively on BritBox. Endlessly intriguing. Start your free trial at BritBox.com.
For over 17 years, the award-winning legal team at George Salinas Injury Lawyers has been representing personal injury victims all across Texas. Have you been injured in an accident? George Salinas is ready to represent you with free consultations, 24/7 availability, and no attorney fees unless we win. George Salinas Injury Lawyers will help you get the results you need so you can focus on recovery. If you've been injured, one call could change your entire case. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers, 210-225-0909, or visit georgesalinas.com.
George gets justice.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Trane heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traineinfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer. Traineinfo.com. It's hard to stop a train. Smoker's Paradise, your premium smoke shop. Fully stocked to shop everything you need for your smoking needs under one roof. Vaporizers, disposable e-cigarettes, hookah accessories, water pipes, cigars, and more. With 14 area locations, including the newest at Southwest Military in Roosevelt. Visit smokersparadise.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has 2 great locations, Keebner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. You're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it, and if they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken, prepare foods, they've got it. The 5 for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later.
Hey, it's Joe Reinagel, and this is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Thrill is gone. The thrill is gone.
My guy, Joe Reinagel, on vacation. So it's just going to be Jason Minix today doing the Blitz.
I forgot some of the movies that Jim Brown was in. He Got Game. Rio Conchos.
Wasn't he in Mars Attacks?
I don't see it. Ice Station Zebra.
No, he wasn't Mars Attacks. He got beat up by one of the aliens.
Ice Station Zebra was really a good movie back in the day.
We're bringing up Jim Brown because the NFL legend passed away at the age of 87. His wife confirmed on an Instagram post earlier today. Jim Brown was 87 years old, passed away in Los Angeles, California. Born in Georgia back in February 17, 1936. Jim Brown played for the Cleveland Browns from 57 to 65. Considered to be one of the all-time great running backs, all-time great NFL players in general. So, a very, very sad day for the sports community when it comes to that. Tonight, who you got? Celtics or the Miami Heat? Game 2. The Heat won game 1. Celtics have all the pressure.
To put money on it. I mean, they might as well not even play the game. They might as well not even play the game.
I smell a bet.
They might as well not even play the game.
I smell a bet.
I'm not. Don't even think about asking me for points.
That's how it works in sports, man.
No, it doesn't. If you want to make a bet, then it's straight up.
Not you screaming from the mountaintop. Well, if you really believe in the Miami Heat, you would not need points. No, none of that. Oh my God!
Don't take my words and try and twist them.
People apparently agree with you because the spread has ballooned to an astronomical number. So if you believe the Celtics are going to win, do you believe that they'll cover the spread?
Which is what now?
9.5.
Wow. That's a nice spread.
It's very reminiscent of Golden State against the Lakers in the last series, where the Lakers won a game, goes back to Golden State, and Golden State's favored by 6.5. And we're like, why is Golden State favored by 6.5? And they go on and win by like 20.
Right.
This is a very similar situation going on. I mean, the Celtics come in as the 2 seed, 32-9 at home during the regular season, but they've had a couple of losses in the playoffs at home where they've been literally booed off the court because that Boston crowd is so crazy about success over there. That is a franchise that demands excellence because of all the banners that hang up there. But there's something about Playoff Jimmy. Playoff Jimmy just won't go away. He hates that name.
Well, he deserves it, though. You could hate all you want. If you want to play during the regular season and be another LeBron, then fine. Be another LeBron. Be another Anthony Davis. Be whomever you want to be. Be Jimmy Butler during the regular season. But just don't show up in the playoffs and expect people just to say, well, but that's how he plays, man.
Speaking of LeBron James, I thought I heard of a stat. I'm trying to find it right now. There it is right there. LeBron James has missed 19 straight three-pointers in the fourth quarter.
You couldn't buy one yesterday.
Insane. Yesterday, when he fumbled away that pass, or wasn't even a pass, he had control of the ball. It was a breakaway, uncontested dunk, and he wanted to add some flair to it. He wanted to
Oh, he gave
rocked
it
the rim,
he
and
did. He gave it a big old twist, body twist.
yeah. And you know that's something that he's probably done in practice during games hundreds of times during
Mhm.
his career,
Mhm.
probably since high school. And for him to fumble the ball away and see that they lose by just 5 points, and that's 2 of the 5 they could have used in the 4th quarter.
Because he's trying to showboat. I mean, it was a showboat move.
It was. It was. And did you see that flop that he did when he was kinda tied up with Joel Embiid, and
I'm
all of a sudden he ends up okay, LeBron James, who's, like, built like a truck and is 6'9", is trying to tell us that the contact with Joel Embiid was so Joel Embiid, it was who was it yesterday? Uh, they're playing it was Nikola Jokic, I'm sorry. That the contact that he has with Nikola Jokic was so that it top of the key all the way to underneath the lady's legs in the first round, in the first row of the stands. And he had like ice and drinks spilled on him because the person there kind of spilled it on him on accident. It was so ridiculous that even Jeremy Sohan of the Spurs, as young as he is, went out there and said, "Why does King James always flop?"
Well, let's talk about flops in general. I am absolutely just frustrated beyond belief, and I don't care what team it is. They all do it. They throw the arms up and begging for a call. Is that out of control or just me?
I don't mind the selling of a play because there's different degrees to it. There is, "Hey, look at the contact that was made." There's a selling of the play. The flop, which don't get me wrong, we've had Spur players that flop from time to time, is so dramatic that it is ridiculous. I know that Manu Ginobili would flop from time to time, so it happens to the best of us. But the selling of a call, I get. The outright flop that defies gravity is what I find appalling. But even worse than that is when you try to dupe the official by trying to pretend that the other person's grabbing you. James Harden does this all the time, where he drives in, hooks the arm. Draymond Green does this, hooks the arm of the defender, and they make it look like the defender is the one hooking them. That is not gamesmanship. That is not selling a play or selling contact. That is trying to fool an official, and that's against the spirit of the game. That I don't agree with. Contemplating going back into officiating basketball. Thinking about it.
All
Thinking
because
about
of
it.
Wemby?
No, just simply because I've been thinking about it. My nephew,
How do you
my nephew's 21 years old, and he wants to get into something that he could make some extra money on. And I was telling him, I'm like, the San Antonio Basketball Officials Association is always looking for officials, and they make good money out there
what, 50
calling
a
games.
50 a game?
Somewhere between 50 and 75 a game, depending on the level. It's not bad. I mean, plus gas, you might make 130, 150 in a night, and it's just like 2.5 hours of your time. So I told my nephew that if he gets into it, I'll do it with him, and I'll do some games. I've done all the way up to the varsity level here in San Antonio. Um, it's fun. It's fun. I haven't done it in the past 3 years, but I'm seriously considering doing it. By the way, there's 2 minutes left in the show. Jason's gonna be with pleasure going from 3 to 6:30 because I believe we have the Rangers tonight.
Rangers, Rockies.
Rangers, Rockies. The Rangers now only have a 2-game lead atop the AL West because the Astros are charging, and the Astros take on the Oakland A's this weekend, the worst team in the American League.
And guess what? A little more breaking news. Jose Altuve makes his debut tonight as he is back in the lineup after breaking his thumb during the World Baseball Classic this offseason.
I like that uniform he was wearing the other day in the minors. That was pretty
The
cool.
Whataburger honey chicken biscuit sandwich.
Yes. It looked amazing. Looked amazing. By the way, I would
Where's my tin can? I can start making noises. Bang, gang, gang, gang.
I would not be a Spurs fan if I didn't do this right now. I know we're all excited about Victor Wembanyama. I know he's not a Spur yet, but he will be in 5 weeks. But I want to say happy 20th birthday, early 20th birthday to Jeremy Sohan, who turns 20 years old tomorrow.
You just did a jump back kiss myself. You literally just sat back in the chair and did a jump back kiss
I
myself.
can't even wish a man a happy birthday. Is that what you're saying? So Spurs fans, I know you're out there.
Jump back. Want to kiss myself.
Don't forget to go on Twitter. Don't forget to go on Instagram and wish Sohan.
I dare you
You
to do.
Sohan lovers out there. Don't forget to wish him a happy 20th.
I dare you to do that.
Yeah, you should wish him a happy birthday today on Instagram or on Twitter and be like, "Hey Jeremy, happy birthday. I wished for your birthday this year that you don't keep chipping because,
Don't chip the paint off the rim off the 3-point shot."
As a him somebody a birthday.
I am legitimately wishing him a happy 20th
I call
birthday.
BS.
Oh no, he's about to be at full force on the bandwagon like he's never said a bad word about him.
And that's the thing about Victor Wembanyama. Makes everybody else's job easier. It makes them go and do what they do best as opposed to trying to do things that they can't do. The best thing that ever happened to Sohan is getting Wemby by his side, and they're going to fit well together. This has been a great day. Everyone have a great weekend. I have allergies or COVID or whatever. I'm going to go home and rest.
And when I'm sick on Monday, I will be all over your backside.
And during the 5-minute commercial break, I'm going to Lysol the entire area, even your side, on behalf of Jason Minix. This has been fun. See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
It's Jimenez and Spence. Follow Mike Jimenez at Mike ESPN SA, Tim Spence at Spence ESPN SA, and always at ESPNSA.com.